Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto hated by villagers and leaves part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. In a bright evening in Konoha, a blonde ninja was having the worst day of his life. He was being outcast by the entire village for his failure to retrieve Sasuke from the Sound Nines. As he walked through the streets, people showed their disgust of him as they mocked and tormented him at every turn. "Hey kid, where is the Uchiha? Didn't you say you would bring him back?" One of the villagers sneered as Naruto tried to walk it off. His day was going horrible. No one had a shred of compassion for him as he walked through the streets. He could see the killing intent in everyone's eyes. He tried to explain to everyone that he fought his hardest, but his pleas fell on deaf ears as everyone threatened to kill him if he dared to stay in the village. Like before, Naruto was treated as a plague and he had everyone's hate directed at him. Only a handful of people didn't blame Naruto for what happened. All but one of the rookie 9 forgave him. Naruto came up to Ino's shop and decided to say hello. "Hey Ino, how is the shop coming?" Naruto said as he entered. He noticed Sakura there with all the current hate she had at him. Naruto looked at her with an apologetic look. "Sakura, I tried, but I couldn't bring him back," he said to her. Sakura had a seething rage as she turned to Naruto. "Oh, shut up, you demon, you wanted him to go. I can't believe you are this low of a human being if that," she said as she walked out. Ino stared in shock as Naruto only stood there and took her insults. He really can't argue, but to Ino, Sakura was being completely unfair. "Just leave her, Naruto, she needs to process this," Ino said as she walked back into the house. Naruto left the house and went to the Hokage mansion. He felt that he had had enough of the torment. He went up to the Kage's room as he walked in the door to see Tsunade in her chair doing paperwork. She looked up to see a depressed Naruto. She didn't like that look. It reminded her of how sad she was about her brother and her lover. She stared at him and decided to break the silence. "Naruto, is something the matter?" she asked as he looked up at her. Naruto took off his headband and placed it on her desk. "Tsunade-bachan, can you give this to Iruka-sensei for me?" he said to her. She was utterly shocked. Naruto was resigning as a leaf shinobi. Naruto was about to leave until Tsunade stopped him. "Wait a second, Naruto, what is this about?" she asked. Naruto looked at her and started to cry. "Oh, what is the point, Tsunade-bachan? I have been rejected again. Everyone hates me for not bringing back Sasuke. They all even threat to kill me if I didn't leave the village. I can't take this anymore," he said as he stormed out of her office. Tsunade had an utterly sad face as she realized the importance of the situation. Tsunade stepped out of her office to check around the village. She saw that Naruto had confirmed her fear. Everyone hated him. She even heard of some plans to kill him. This was not the Konoha she knew. These were not Konoha citizens or shinobi. This place had become a hell for Naruto. He now had to fear for his life from his very village. Tsunade was more than pissed at the village now. She didn't even want to be the Hokage anymore to such a disgraceful village. "Naruto is gonna leave tomorrow," she said to herself. She left the village and went home. Naruto was in his house packing his scrolls as he in bags. He was still crying at the fact that the village despised him again. He knew he could never return to this village. After he finished packing, Naruto cried himself to sleep. Jiraiya had heard the news from Tsunade, and was equally pissed as well. He knew that the ungrateful villages didn't deserve Naruto. He had helped them time and again with their problems, but no, it was always about the arrogant Sasuke. "This village is a load of crap," Jiraiya said as he sat at the front gate in the dark. 10 o'clock in the morning. Naruto had gotten to the front gate. He noticed Jiraiya sitting there waiting for him. "Haero-sen, why are you here?" he asked with a depressed face. "Please kid, with how this village is acting, I can't go along with this, so I am out of it too," he said to Naruto. Naruto smiled a little. He was happy to know that he had someone beside him. One of the villagers spotted him and yelled to everyone that Naruto was leaving. In less than 10 minutes, everyone had arrived at the gate and looked at him. One of the villagers looked at him with a grin. "And what do you think you are doing, boy, huh?" said one of the villagers. "Isn't it obvious? I am taking your suggestion and I am leaving," he said as he turned around. All the villagers jumped for joy that the problem child was leaving their village. "Finally some peace," they all said. The rookie 9 made their appearance in front. "Come on man, you don't have to leave," Kiba said, trying to convince Naruto to stay. "Kiba's right, don't go," Shikamaru said. "We can get Sasuke again," Tenten said. "Don't do this, Naruto," Hinata and Neji said at the same time. All their pleas fell on deaf ears as Naruto made his way through the gate. He stopped momentarily to hear the last words of hurt from someone. "That's right, get lost, Naruto. No one needs you here. You are just a nuisance to us," Sakura said to him. That was the final hit. Naruto had lost everything. Jiraiya couldn't take this. He had no idea this was the same village that they had protected all those years. As Naruto left, he stopped again to hear someone in the distance. "Naruto, wait," said the voice. The blonde Hokage came and stepped up to Naruto. "Ah, Hokage-sama, rejoice. The problem of the leaf is leaving," one of the villagers said to her. Tsunade tried to keep her rage under control as she continued to walk towards Naruto. Shursho, master, why are you standing next to the trash?" Sakura sighed to her. Tsunade lost it. She walked up to Sakura and gave her a chakra-enforced slap to the face. Sakura, the Rookie 9, and the villagers were all shocked by this. "You are all idiots. He has helped all of us time and again. This is how you treat him?" she yelled at them. "He has taken all of your insults, and it has turned him into this. This is not the village I nor Sarutobi can approve of," she said. Everyone yelled at her about all the problems they had because of him. She could see it was no use. "Shut up, all of you," she yelled as everyone was quiet. "As of this day forward, I resign as the Hokage of this disgraceful village," she said to a shocked village. But Shursho, why are you leaving?" Sakura said as she stood. Tsunade hit one of the Konoha gates as it crumbles to the ground. "To do this to the boy who saved you from the sand, you are all pathetic," she said to them. Shizen nodded as the three turned and left with Naruto. He was happy he had gotten some support from them as they all walked away. The villagers couldn't believe what just happened. They had lost their Godame Hokage, and it was their fault. Furious, Hinata spoke. "Is everyone now proud of themselves?" she said as she turned to them. Everyone turned to Hinata. "We have lost one of our most powerful ninja and our Hokage because of your damn prejudice," she said as she walked back to the Hyuga compound. "I am seriously wondering if I should abandon this village too," Niji said as he followed Hinata back to the compound. "So this village shows its true colors," said Shikamaru as he went back to his house. "This place sucks," said Kiba and Ino as they left. "Hey Choji, let's leave the disgrace here," Shikamaru said to a sad Choji as he left with Shikamaru. "Damn village," Tenten said to them as she left. "So unyouthful," Lee said as he left with Guy. Everyone turned around to see Sakura still on the ground and motioned to her. "Oh, and Sakura, you are not one of us anymore," they all said as they left. Sakura could not believe what she was hearing. She had lost her friends. Sakura got up and went home depressed. They villagers, some happy and some sad and other indifferent, returned to their work. On the road. "You guys didn't have to resign for me," he said as he walked with them. They all smiled as they walked to whatever destination. "Oh Naruto, it is all good. That village has become a pain," Tsunade said to him. Naruto cried as he walked. "Thank you everyone, thank you Erosenin, thank you Shizunichin, thank you Tsunade-bachan," he said as they turned to him. Tsunade walked up to him. She felt so sad for him. She wanted to give him comfort but kept from too much for fear of crossing a permanent line between the two. She kissed his forehead like before and smiled. "It's okay Naruto, you can cry," she said to him. Naruto ran into her arms as he cried for a few minutes. Jiraiya and Shizen were saddened to see Naruto in such a state. After his crying, Jiraiya gave him a pat on the back. "Come on Naruto, let's go to another place," he said to him. Naruto looked at Jiraiya, Shizen, and Tsunade smiling at him. He nodded with tears in his eyes. They all walked to a new journey. 3 days after the incident. Life in Konoha was dull now. The citizens couldn't believe that their Hokage was gone. Some were sad about how they treated Naruto, others didn't care and were still happy that the demon was gone. "Man, it feels great to know that my kids will be safe from that plague," some of the women said to each other as they gossiped. Unknown to them, the Rookie 9 were unintentionally listening on some people's conversations. "Damn this village, is this really the village we all grew up in?" Ino said as she hung out with her squad. "I know, I can't even eat the regular food because of my disgust for this place," Choji said to his squad. "This village has become so troublesome," Shikamaru said with a yawn. It was obvious that some of the Rookie 9 were not at all pleased with the way the village was running. Ever since Naruto and Tsunade left, the place was a lot more gloomy. It was hard to believe this was the same Konoha a few weeks ago. Hyuga compound. "This is so stupid," Niji said as he protested to Hinata. He didn't like how things were going. He felt that he just couldn't protect this place anymore after the way they treated Naruto. "This village is no longer a great place," Hinata said. As they walked around, they saw that people who still had smiles on their faces that Naruto was gone. Hokage Mansion. All right, since Tsunade has resigned the position of Kage, we hereby decree that the next Kage shall be you, Danzo Shimura, the council said as Danzo bowed to receive his new position. Danzo was now the Rokudaime Hokage of Konoha. All citizens of Konoha rejoiced to see another Kage lead their village. Danzo could hear their request of him as the next Kage. This shocked all of the rookie 9 except Sakura. Kill Naruto, kill Naruto, kill the demon, kill Naruto and Tsunade, the villagers shouted as Danzo heard their cries. The rookie 9 had enough, they couldn't go along with any of this anymore. This was not the village they knew, this was a village of heartless demons. After Danzo guaranteed the death of Naruto and Tsunade after a few weeks in office, the rookie 9 walked into the new Kage's office. He stared at them and smiled. Hello my fellow ninja, just be patient, we will end the life of Naruto and Tsunade soon enough, he said as he sat down. Shikamaru and Choji held back Ino, who had the urge to end the new Kage's life. Everyone looked at him and sighed as they took of their headbands, and with their kunai they scratched a line through the leaf symbol. Sorry sir, but we don't agree with this Enyamura. We resign as ninja and citizens of Konoha, they said as they bowed and left to pack their stuff to leave the village. Damn it, that fox brat, even when he is gone he still causes trouble, he said as he sat down. Sand Village at 8 p.m. Naruto was now in Suna looking at the sky. He was thinking about how things must be going back in Konoha. I can't believe my life is this low because of that mission, he said as he sulked out in the CLD night. As he remembered the past events, he was brought to the time when Tsunade decided to come with him as she had left the village with him. It brought the blonde to blush a little as she had stuck up for him. Without him knowing, Tsunade crept up behind him and offered him some company. What is the matter Naruto? She said as she stood next to him. Naruto jumped a bit to see Tsunade next to him. His action caused the ex-Hokage to smile. Regaining his composure, Naruto spoke. Oh Tsunade-bachan, it's nothing, just thinking about the village, he said as he looked back up at the sky. You don't have to worry about them anymore, she said as she hugged him. Naruto could feel her warmth on his body. He blushed as he turned around and faced her. She looked beautiful in the moonlight. She had the body of a woman in her 30s, but was actually in her 50s. Naruto was still blushing as they continued the hug. Tsunade caught herself as she and Naruto decided to let go. Why am I feeling this way for him? She said as she smiled at him. Ever since he had saved me from the incident with Orochimaru, I can't get him out of my head, she said to herself. Wait, is it possible that I dash? She thought to herself. No, he is like a son to me and that is it, she said trying to convince herself. Naruto looked into her eyes, he had always been enticed by them. They always looked at him with love. He knew that deep in his heart he was aching. He knew that the way he was feeling was wrong. This was taboo in the eyes of society. He was barely in his teens and she was in her early 50s. I want to tell her, but to ruin the relationship we have would be too much for me, he said as he realized he was staring. He snapped himself out of his thinking as he spoke. Then Tsunade-bachan, I will go back inside, he said as he ran back to the room. Tsunade continued to stare as she rubbed her temples. Can it be possible? Do I actually feel this way? She asked herself as she walked back to the house. As Naruto went outside to think some more, he ran into one of his old friends. Naruto Uzumaki, how do you do? Said the mysterious figure. Oh hi Gaara, not so well, I have been outcast by my village forever, he said to the shocked sand user. What? Gaara said to a startled Naruto. Yeah, everyone says it's my fault for losing Sasuke and they would kill me if I didn't leave the village, he said as he looked down to the ground. Oh no, they are not getting away with this without some consequences, Gaara said as he headed for the Kazekage mansion. As they entered, Gaara told Naruto to stay in the waiting area. After 30 minutes in a room, Gaara showed up in front of Naruto. I can't go along with this, so now our allegiance to Konoha is over, he said as he sat down. Naruto couldn't believe it. Suna was no longer Konoha's ally. Gaara, you didn't have to do that, Naruto said to him. Oh yes I did. I will not allow people like that to be situated with Suna, he said as he gave Naruto a goodbye. Naruto gave him a goodbye as he went back to his room. 3 days later. Lord Hokage, we have received a message from Suna, said one of Danzo's personal ninjas. He thanked the ninja as he left. Danzo read the message as his face turned from happiness to anger as he read the message. Dear Rokudaime Hokage, you and your village have become corrupted. We have heard how you treated one of your own ninja. To threaten your own shinobi shows how little you value them and how little you appreciate them. We cannot go along with your insanity. As of this day, Suna and Konoha are no longer allies. If you can't trust your own ninja, how are we to know if we can trust you with ours? Your ex-ally Suna. Danzo couldn't believe it. He was counting on Suna for their help, but here it was that they ended their alliance because of what Konoha did to Naruto. Apparently Naruto was the biggest impact for Konoha. He was the reason that they weren't destroyed by Suna. He was also one of the reasons that Suna wanted to make an alliance to Konoha. Damn it, that demon brat, he is making my job so much harder, Danzo said as he threw the scroll on the floor. I will kill you, demon brat, count on it, he said as he laughed. The appearance of Konoha was changing. It was no longer a sunny village, but a village shrouded in the dark. People stopped going there, and the business was terrible. Rumors happened that Konoha was now called the village hidden in the darkness. As the rookie 9 left, Sakura was the only genin still around in the village. The jounin didn't leave, but most quit being ninja, due to the madness of the villagers. Where is everyone? Sakura said as she noticed Kiba with his bags packed. She ran up to Kiba. Hey Kiba, where are you going? You got a mission? She asked. Kiba looked at her, but ignored her and walked off. Sakura in confusion went to look around some more. She spotted Ino also with her bags. Ino, where are you going? She asked as she smiled. Ino walked past Sakura and completely ignored her. Sakura couldn't understand what was wrong. She looked for one more person before going home. She spotted Shikamaru also with his bags packed. Shikamaru, why are you guys packing your bags? She asked him. Shikamaru looked up to see her smiling. That smile pissed him off more than anything. He walked past Sakura and didn't utter a word. Sakura couldn't take it anymore. Why is everyone ignoring me? What have I done? She asked as Shikamaru turned around. He was seething mad that she hadn't realized her error. You really don't know, huh? In that Sasuke-filled mind, are you that dumb? He asked her. She was shocked to hear him say that. If you must know, we resigned as ninja and citizens of Konoha 3 days ago, he said to her. Sakura couldn't believe what she was hearing. And this is partly your fault, he said to her. Sakura didn't understand and yelled. What did I do? She yelled at him. Not being able to take her tone anymore, he turned around. You blamed Naruto for everything. He tried so hard for you and you reject him along with the villagers, he yelled at her. She couldn't believe this was about Naruto. He is worthless and a freak, he couldn't bring back Sasuke, she said to him. I doubt that Sasuke would have changed even if Naruto did bring him back. Sakura, he didn't love you, Shikamaru said as he turned and headed for the gate. All of her friends were leaving her, and she gave them good reason too. She hit the floor as she cried. Well, fine, see if I care, she said as she sat there on the ground. All the rookie 9 left the village and began to look for Naruto. Okay everyone, let's start our search for Naruto, Shikamaru said to everyone. Everyone nodded as they took to the trees and left the village, vowing never to return. 3 days later. Naruto and Tsunade were still in Suna as they decided to leave. Naruto knew why they were leaving. If they stayed in Suna for too long, then Konoha would engage war on Suna and he didn't want that. Naruto, are you ready? Tsunade asked as she picked up her bag. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Yeah, I am ready, Tsunade-bachan, he said as they headed out the door. When will we meet up with Ero-sennin and Shizen-ichin? Naruto asked as they walked. Tsunade looked at him, and with a smile replied. We will see them in 10 days, she said to him. Jiraiya and Shizen had to keep tabs on Konoha so that Naruto and Tsunade could be safe and know any information. As they bid Gaara and his village goodbye, they walked in the sand as they headed away from the village. As the two headed away from the village, both were in their own thoughts about the night 3 days ago. I can't possibly think of him this way, can I? Tsunade thought to herself as she looked Naruto. She could see his muscular body that he had refined while in Suna. He fights his strongest, he helps other, his is kind, sweet, gentle, and dash. Tsunade caught herself in the middle of the compliments she was giving Naruto in her head. She couldn't believe what was happening to her. For her to even feel something for him at all was almost more than she could bear. Man, why am I feeling this way for him? He is just a kid, I couldn't possibly, I mean for me to even consider dash, she said as she wondered in her thoughts. Unbeknown to her, Naruto was also doing some thinking about that night. He had looked up at the woman as they continued to walk. It feels wrong, I know it's wrong, but I can't take it, he said as he scratched his head. Naruto was in the prime of puberty. He knew that loving an older woman was the common thing for some guys, but to him it still felt wrong. Every time I see her my heart aches, it aches to tell her my feelings, he said as he thought. I mean, could I really be finding her this attractive? I mean, when we first met I thought she was the lowest woman to insult the Kage, but after that incident with Orochimaru and that kiss she gave me, I just can't contain these feelings, he said as he continued to think. To form a romantic bond with her was his desire, but society would never allow such a thing. After 4 hours of walking, the two started to see trees and grass as they came into a forest. Ah, finally no more sand, Tsunade said as she took off her shoes and let the sand fall out. Naruto chuckled as he did the same. Naruto then looked at Tsunade and still blushed at the sight of her. Both were silent to each other as they walked through the forest. This silence made them both uncomfortable. Man, think of something to say, this silence is unbearable, Naruto said to himself. Just talk, say something, he is just a boy, why am I so flustered? Tsunade said as she tried to calm her beating heart. As they walked through the silence, Naruto decided to say something as he looked at Tsunade. It was no use, he just couldn't keep his eyes on her for fear that she would see his blush. So where are we going now? He asked her. Shocked by the initial question, Tsunade turned to Naruto. She noticed the blush he tried to hide from her. She now knew that he was thinking about her. Turning to the side to calm her heart, Tsunade replied. Oh, we are going to the Fire Daimyo's country to try and get some protection from Konoha, Tsunade said as she walked. Naruto nodded as he walked. He knew that even the Hokage couldn't go against the Fire Daimyo. That was the one person with more power than the Kage. As expected of Tsunade-chan, that is a great plan, he said as he smiled. Tsunade jumped at the chan suffix Naruto had used. Her heart had skipped a beat from those words. Are we getting too familiar with each other? She asked herself as she replied. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Naruto-kun, she said as she shocked herself and Naruto. She couldn't believe what just came out of her mouth. Tell me I did not just say that, she said to herself as she saw Naruto blush at her. Her heart started to race again as they walked through the village. Suddenly both heard a rustle in the trees. Tsunade took out a kunai and Naruto summoned a shadow clone. Everything came into view. They got ready to attack but pulled back to see who it was. Ah, we finally found you, said Hinata with a happy face. She along with the rest of the Rookie 9 and Team Guy were there. Naruto looked shocked almost as much as Tsunade. Why are you guys here? He asked them as they smiled. We can't take that village anymore, we sighed with Naruto. I hate what that village has become, said the various comments from some of them. We have ended our loyalty and services to Konoha, Niji said as stared at Naruto. Tsunade looked in all their eyes to see if they were spies. She studied them, but couldn't feel any evil intent from them. Well, it's great that we ran into you guys, she said with a smile. Though upon closer inspection she saw they were shy one pink-haired kunoichi. Where is Sakura? She asked them. Their faces turned angry at the thought of her. She has decided to stay in the village, Shikamaru said to her. Oh, was all Tsunade said as she looked at Naruto. He looked like he didn't have a shred of indifference. Naruto noticed Tsunade's concerned face as he looked at her clutch her heart. She looked like she had an ache in her heart as she thought of the pain he still had inside him. It's all right, Tsunade-bachan. I don't care what happens to Sakura or that village, he said as he walked ahead. Tsunade felt a little relieved that he wasn't depressed over the matter, but she could tell he still had a few people he cared about in Konoha. Everyone turned to Tsunade. Where are you two going? They all asked. Tsunade snapped out of her daze. Oh, we are going to the Fire Daimyo's country to request protection, she said as she walked ahead. Everyone gasped at the new information. There wasn't a genin alive that didn't want to see the Fire Daimyo. Everyone rushed up to her with smiles. Can we come with you guys? They asked with enthusiasm. Tsunade rubbed her temples as she nodded. Wait, with this many people, Naruto and I might be able to separate, Tsunade thought. She figured that this solved her problem. She thanked Kami for the kids. She had no idea what fate had in store for those two. Back in Konoha. The village was dark with thunderclouds. There was no ray of light anywhere. Danzo was currently thinking of ways to get rid of the troublesome fox demon and his Sannin protector. Damn it, not having Suna for an ally has really hurt my plans, he said as he wondered about his next plan of action. Let's see, they might have just left Suna, where would they go? He pondered. Suddenly it struck Danzo that he knew. They are going to the Fire Daimyo's place. If they go there and the Fire Daimyo protects them, even I can't touch them, he said as he readily summoned a group of ninja. Go to the Fire Daimyo's place, stop Naruto and Tsunade, don't let them near that country, he said as the ninja bowed and departed. He sat in his chair exhausted. I will kill them, I have to, for the good of this village and the world, he thought to himself. Back in Suna. I would like you to dispatch a group of ninja to protect Naruto and Tsunade from Konoha, Gaara asked the Sand Council as they pondered his statement. Why should we go out of our way to help them? They asked as they questioned Gaara. Gaara was getting frustrated. He is one of the reasons that Konoha didn't retaliate on us and attack us after that skirmish we started, Gaara stated. He tried to convince the council the good that Naruto had done for, and how it was their turn to help him. Gaara pleaded and pleaded, but the council stubbornly disagreed and made the sand user leave. Damn this village, it feels like Konoha, Gaara said as he wondered what he could do. Gaara saw his only option. I will be outcast from this village, but I don't care, he said to himself as he packed his stuff. He told Temari and Kankuro about his plan. They thought he was insane. He was going to be an enemy of Suna. He didn't care about that now, he just wanted to help Naruto and Tsunade. His siblings laughed as they nodded. We are in Gaara, we can't let you off by yourself, they said as they packed their stuff also. The three headed for the front gate and walked out. They were now rogue ninja and crossed out their headbands. Sorry Suna, but this is bigger than you or us, Gaara said as he and his siblings left. They knew they weren't going to return to Suna, but that was fine. Friends are more important to keep than the rules of a village. Back in Suna again. Gaara, I want to tell you that Baki said as he went into Gaara's room to find that he wasn't there. He raised the alarm as all of Suna looked for him, Temari, and Kankuro. No one could find them. Baki made the assumption that they had left the village. Baki went before the council and explained the situation in detail to them. They nodded and issued a decree to the ninja of Suna. Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro have abandoned this village. They are all Rouge ninja. Find them, bring them back, and should they resist, kill them, the council ordered as they went back inside. 10 days later. Naruto and company were jumping through the trees as they ran to the fire daimyo's place. Everyone wanted to get there before Danzo got wise to their idea. As they all rushed through the trees, Tsunade was feeling like a weight had been dropped from her shoulders. She was seeing Naruto chat with Hinata as they all ran through the trees. Well, that solves my problem, she thought as they hit the ground and decided to walk. Hinata was the perfect for Naruto. She was cute, shy, and most importantly she was his own age. Naruto talked to her like nothing was wrong. He could see Tsunade was happy at the sight and felt a pain to his chest. I guess with me and Hinata, she won't have to worry about these absurd feelings we both have for each other, he said as he put up a fake smile in front of Hinata as they walked. Everyone, to say the least, was happy to be out of the village. It was a regular downpour, and it couldn't have been the same village they grew up in. So exactly how long until we reach the fire daimyo's location? Shikamaru asked as they all walked towards the country. Tsunade turned to look at him. It is about another 5 days, she said as her face lit up the group. She had never been so happy to finally have all of her problems solved. She thanked Kami for Hinata and the group. Naruto noticed her action and became very bitter. He couldn't believe that she was happy to be over that incident with them. He felt a big pain in his chest as he gripped it tightly like he was trying to breathe. Everyone looked to see Naruto in some pain as he fell to the ground. Ah, Naruto-kun, Naruto-kun, Hinata yelled as everyone turned around. Everyone saw Naruto on the ground with a problem in his heart. Everyone rushed up to Naruto as he tried to stand. Tsunade ran over to Naruto worried. And Naruto, what's wrong? She said as put her hand on him to heal him. Naruto noticed her action and swatted her hand away and quickly got up and dusted himself off. I am fine, thank you, now let's go, he said as he walked ahead of the group. Everyone thought he was fine as they got up and decided to walk. Tsunade shrugged off the sign as she walked behind the group. As the group headed to a crossroad, Naruto felt a chill in the air. Everyone wait a second, he said as he smelled the air. He was acting like Kiba, but thanks to the Kyuubi, his smell was more accurate and sensitive. He could smell the vests of Konoha ninja as they were arriving at the crossroad. Naruto turned to the group. I think that Konoha has figured out our plan, he said as Neji used his Byakugan to confirm Naruto's claim. He saw 11 enemy ninja as they were at the crossroads. Naruto's right, we can't go to the fire daimyo's place, Neji said as Naruto chose the alternate route that led to Lighting Country. As Tsunade came up to the group, she noticed Naruto took the alternate route and decided it was the best decision given the circumstances of the situation. Alright everyone, let's take Naruto's way, she said to them. Everyone nodded as they went the opposite way of their destination. After 20 minutes, the Konoha ninja came and looked at the map. Okay, the fire daimyo's place is this way, one of them said as they continued the route to the country. Having left in the opposite direction, Naruto and company could now breathe easy as they had avoided unnecessary combat with Konoha. As they walked to a town, Tsunade looked at Naruto, who was still clutching his heart. He was in pain, but tried to bear it. He didn't need anyone worrying about him, especially not Tsunade right now. As Tsunade walked up to Naruto, she placed her hand on his shoulder. Naruto, are you dash? She was interrupted by him shrugging her off his shoulder. Tsunade was surprised at the action. Naruto looked back at her as he replied. I am fine, let's just drop it, he said as he went back to talk to Hinata and the group. Everyone had an interesting conversation as they talked about what happened in the past few days. Tsunade had a look of confusion on her face as she was walking. All of Naruto's actions to her were so different from the usual. Why do I get the feeling he is avoiding me? She thought to herself as she looked behind her to see the blonde having a chat with the Hyuga. Tsunade clutched her heart as she saw Naruto smiling with Hinata. She didn't understand what was wrong. She thought that having this group would solve all of their problems. She saw how Naruto's smile that was once directed at her was now on the Hyuga chick. This doesn't feel right. I don't know what to think anymore, she said to herself as everyone arrived at the town. Tsunade turned to the group as they stopped in the middle of the streets. Alright everyone, we will stop here for today and continue our travels tomorrow. We will meet up at 8 p.m. for dinner at a restaurant, she said as everyone gave a nod of understanding and scattered. Naruto walked alone as he looked around the town. He saw a few weapon shops and some bars. It was just a run-of-the-mill kind of town. As Naruto came into a restaurant to get something to drink, he clutched his heart that still had him in pain. Why damn it, what is this pain in my chest? He thought to himself as he received his drink. He put the glass to his lips as he took a drink. The drink was sweet to the lips as he continued to drink. His heart slowly calmed down as he finished his drink. He gave a sigh of relief as he sat at the table some more. He began thinking about the day he had. It was going horrible as he put his head on the table. Man, I hate this day, he said as he sat there. After 20 more minutes of thought at the table, Naruto looked at the time. He saw it was almost time for dinner with the others at the restaurant that Tsunade mentioned. As he lifted his head off the table, he left the bar and went to the designated area for everyone's meal. As he walked in, he saw everyone sitting down at 3 opposite tables. He saw a seat reserved for him next to Shizen, while Jiraiya sat next to Tsunade. Naruto grumbled a little, because he didn't want to deal with Tsunade right now, but he had no choice. He sat down next to Shizen and said a quick hello to the two as he sat. Alright, you both are here, let me explain, he said as he turned to Naruto, then Tsunade. Basically, Konoha now wants both of you dead. It seems that you can't get to the Fire Daimyo without encountering some resistance from Konoha, he said as he took a sip of his drink. Tsunade rubbed her temples as she looked across from her. She saw Naruto with a non-caring reaction as he listened to Jiraiya's report. Tsunade didn't want to see him like that. She looked at him. Where had the kind boy that she had come to see go? Tsunade couldn't understand Naruto. He would talk regularly with others, but now with her he was being so distant. What could it be? Why is he avoiding me? She wondered as Jiraiya finished giving his report. Tsunade nodded as she did pay attention to Jiraiya's report, but was just interested in Naruto at the moment. Naruto and Shizen were having a good conversation as he saw Jiraiya make a move at Tsunade. He saw Tsunade eating as Jiraiya inched closer to her. Naruto was getting more and more angry. He felt that he should do something, but was too hesitant to act. He saw his sensei give a perverted smile as his hand inched closer to her chest. Tsunade jumped at the action as she saw Jiraiya on her chest. Wow, so soft, he said as he rubbed them. Tsunade was growing a vein as she saw a kunai head between her and Jiraiya. She instantly moved out of the way as the kunai pierced the couch she was sitting on. She turned to see Naruto through the kunai between them. Fuming, Jiraiya shouted at Naruto. You damn brat, why did you interrupt me? He shouted at Naruto as he drew the attention of some of the genin who were eating. Maybe if you stop being a pervert for once, you might actually do good, he said to his sensei. Everyone wondered what this was about as they looked at Naruto. Trying to calm Naruto down, Tsunade spoke to him. Naruto, just leave him alone. Everyone knows he is a pervert, she said with a smile. Her intentions had the opposite effect of what she wanted as Naruto looked even more mad than before. Well, I don't see you resisting him at all, Bachan, he said to her. Tsunade had a look of confusion on her face. What is wrong with you, Naruto? She asked as she tried to understand. Naruto got up out of his seat and left the table. Oh, screw this, just let him do whatever to you, I don't care, he said as he ran out the door. Jiraiya got up and positioned himself on the couch. Tsunade immediately got up and ran after Naruto. The two let an awkward silence between Shizen and Jiraiya as they tried to finish their meals. The rookie 9 almost left after them if not for Shizen with a nod telling them to sit somewhere on a hill above the town. Damn it, Tsunade, why do you allow this? Naruto thought as he sat at the edge of the hill. My heart hurts, damn it, why is everything like this with you? He shouted to himself. As he calmed down, he heard a rustle behind him as he turned around to see the blonde woman walking up to him. His face turned red as he got up and turned to leave. As he walked past Tsunade, she grabbed his arm and refused to let him go. Naruto struggled, but she was too strong and gave in. Naruto, what is the matter with you? Tsunade wondered as she tried to talk to Naruto. Naruto couldn't look her in the eyes as his heart kept aching from every glance he got of her. Nothing is wrong, now let me go, he demanded as he tried to avoid her gaze. Tsunade wouldn't let this go without an explanation. No, Naruto, I want to know what is going on in your head, she commanded. Naruto was losing his patience and managed to break from Tsunade's grip and turn to face her. You want to know what is going on inside my head? Fine, it's you are the one who keeps entering my mind, he yelled as he looked at her. Tsunade was shocked at his yelling as he continued. All of this, I hate it all, my heart, your smiles, I hate everything about this, he said, letting out his anger. But what do you hate? She asked, trying to understand. I don't know, I just hate this, my heart hurts, it feels like it will burst and I can't control it. Every time I see you this happens, he shouted. As he shouted, he clenched his chest to calm his beating heart. Here is a question, how do you really feel about me, Tsunade? He asked her. Tsunade was startled at the question. She tried all her might to avoid this situation, yet it came about. Well, Naruto, I don't know, she said as she held her head down. Really, you don't know, oh my goodness, I can't believe this, he said as he let his anger out over the hill. Why don't you know? I might not know either, but at least I wasn't trying to set you up with someone to forget my feelings, he said to her. Tsunade now knew. The distance, the behavior, the attitude, it was all from her smiling that she didn't have to feel the way she was at the time. Do I mean so little to you, Tsunade, that you would try to set me up with someone and not try to sort out our feelings, he shouted. But Naruto, the way she was interrupted by Naruto. I know the way I am feeling is wrong, but why is it wrong? I don't get it, I hate this, you make my heart ache, he said to her. Tsunade was absorbing every word he was uttering. He couldn't take it anymore and decided to risk it. Damn it, Tsunade, I love you, okay, he yelled at her. Tsunade was more than shocked at that statement. Naruto continued. I don't know why I do, but I do, I love you, it feels crazy, he said as he walked up to her. Tsunade had never been in such a position before. Trying her best to speak, she replied. Naruto, I mean we can't, I just don't know, Tsunade said as she looked at him. Naruto looked at her and laughed. I see, so that is how this is, he said as he walked past her. Naruto, my heart aches too, she said to him. Naruto stopped walking and turned around to see Tsunade gripping her chest. I am sorry, Naruto, I didn't want to know these feelings, I just can't see you that way, I am just not sure of this, she said as she held her head down. Naruto clutched his heart as he turned back around. As he walked away, Tsunade saw tears fall down his eyes. Tsunade didn't want this. All she wanted was for Naruto to find someone else. She fell to her knees as she cried. She looked up to see Naruto hurt from his chest. She ran up to Naruto. Naruto, at least let me heal your heart, she said as she walked up to him. Naruto got up and for the second time swatted her head away. Just leave me alone, Tsunade, you seem to care more about what society thinks than your own feelings, he said as he walked off. Naruto just wanted to get away from Tsunade before his heart jumped out from his chest. He walked as if he was crippled as he went back to the town. Tsunade fell to the ground crying. I am so sorry, Naruto, I didn't want this, I am so sorry, she said as wrapped herself around her shoulders and cried some more. Tsunade now knew that she made a mistake, she didn't take Naruto's feelings into consideration when she thought about setting him up. All she did was give Naruto more hurt and sorrow. 1 hour later. Naruto stormed back to the restaurant still clutching his heart as he tried to calm it down. The talk he had with Tsunade wasn't a good one as he had been in a bitter mood from the beginning to the end of their talk. As he made it back to the town, Naruto walked up to the restaurant. Man, I don't want to deal with questions of what happened earlier right now, he said to himself as he walked in. Everyone immediately turned to face him as he walked up to Shizen. He didn't bother looking at all of the glares he was getting from his friends and his mentor. Shizen Nei-chan, where is the place where everyone will be staying? He asked her with a serious face. Shizen had many questions for Naruto, but seeing the state he was in, she decided to ask later. Oh, it is in the eastern part of town, Hotel Senjoku, she replied. Thank you, I am going to bed, he said as he bowed and walked off. Everyone watched until the blonde was out of sight. Everyone had questionable looks on their faces. What do you think happened between Naruto and Tsunade? Hinata asked the others. I'm not sure, but it must be bad. I can't imagine what those two just talked about. I wonder if it had to do with them leaving the village. Probably. But why was Naruto holding his chest so tight while he talked? Hey, you guys don't think dash. I would highly doubt it. Everyone debated on the talk that could have transpired between Naruto and Tsunade. After everyone finished their meals, everyone turned to leave. As they left, they saw a red-eyed blonde that appeared in front of the restaurant. T.S. Tsunade-sama, what is the matter? Everyone asked as they saw Tsunade trying to stop her crying. I have done something unforgivable to Naruto, she said as she couldn't bear to talk anymore and decided to go to the hotel. Everyone was now very interested. They wanted to know what was going between the two. Even Shizen and Jiraiya were interested in this one. As the people came together, they discussed a plan of action. Surprisingly, Shizen came up with a fantastic idea. Okay, everyone, here is what we do. Next day at 12 p.m. Everyone woke up in their respective rooms as they all got dressed. As everyone headed out of the hotel, they began to walk along the road as an unbearable silence came over the group. As everyone walked, they could see, or rather feel, the distance Naruto and Tsunade were putting between themselves. These two were usually the life of a conversation, but no, it was hard to talk about anything. Niji leaned into the group of Genin minus Naruto. Guys, please do something, this silence is disturbing, he said to them. Everyone agreed with him as they looked at the two. Shizen-san, we put this plan into action? They asked her. Soon everyone, soon, she said to them. After 2 hours of unbearable silence, Shizen nodded at the group. Everyone finally felt happy to do something. As they came up to the next town, the guys ran up to Naruto. Oh Naruto, there is a new town, let's explore, Kiba said to a depressed Naruto. Naruto looked at Kiba and tried to smile, but couldn't and just nodded. All of the other guys grabbed Naruto as they ran to explore the town. The girls walked up to Tsunade, who appeared exhausted even though everyone had a good night's sleep except Naruto and Tsunade. Tsunade-sama, let's go to the town too, we all need new clothes, Ino said to her. Tsunade snapped out of her daze and looked at Ino. Alright, let's go, she said as they all ran to the nearest store. The town was normal. It had the standard houses and shops that towns normally have. Nothing spectacular about it. The guys took Naruto to the many different food stores to try and lighten the mood, but to no avail could they. Naruto just didn't feel like doing anything, he just wanted to be left alone to sort out his feelings. Guys, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work, I just want to be alone, he said as he walked off into the direction they planned. All is going according to plan, Yahoo, let's keep it up, they said as they followed him. Naruto turned to a store and decided to go in. He looked around but no one was there. He felt the cool breeze of the air conditioning as he looked around. He turned to see various tools and scrolls for standard ninja use. I guess they're closed, he said, but why is the place open? He wondered as he looked around some more. With the girls. Hey Tsunade-sama, how is this? Ino said as she lifted up a shirt for Tsunade. Oh, it's cute, look, sorry girls, I know what you are doing, but leave me alone, Tsunade said as she walked off. Everyone smiled as they followed her. Tsunade walked into a shop and looked around. She could see various tools and scrolls for ninja use, but as she turned her head, she saw a small blonde looking around. It was the person she would rather avoid. The blonde turned around to leave, but saw that the door was shut. She tried to open the door but it seemed to be locked. No, not now, she said as she tried to open the door to no avail. Naruto turned around to see Tsunade at the door struggling to get it open. What are you doing? He asked as he looked at her. Tsunade answered without facing him. She couldn't handle his face at the moment. We're locked and the door is jammed, she said to him. Naruto ran to the doors and tried to open them, but they were really stuck. You have got to be kidding, and the damn air conditioning is on, he said to her. Tsunade could feel the cold breeze on her skin. Oh, this is not good, I guess we will wait here for the owner to return, she said as she sat on the floor. Naruto couldn't believe his luck, the one person he was trying to avoid, he ended up being stuck with for who knows how long. Outside of the shop, everyone was looking at Jiraiya as he pumped chakra into the walls. There, now those two can't get out until they compromise whatever is bothering them, he said as everyone put their ears to the walls. There was nothing but silence as the two sat on opposite ends of each other. Neither could look the other in the eyes. After the conversation last night, neither had the urge to speak either. 45 minutes later. Nothing but silence. 2 hours later. Still no words. Everyone couldn't believe they were being so silent. To spend 2 hours together without a word was something astounding. After 15 more minutes, everyone heard Tsunade speak. Damn it, it's starting to get a little too cold, she said to herself as tried to warm herself up. She managed to get a glance at Naruto. He was feeling the cold also. He was a little jittery as the air conditioning was on its maximum setting and didn't have a knob to turn it off. Naruto looked up at Tsunade and saw she was getting clawed also. He muttered to himself as he looked at her. He seemed to convince himself of something as he got up. He walked over to Tsunade and took off the top half of his orange jumpsuit. Here, Tsunade, he said to her. She looked up to see him handing her his jacket. His face was still turned away from hers because he was still a little mad and sad at the same time. She grabbed the jacket and wrapped it around her body. It felt warm as she received warmth from it. It made her blush that she had accepted such a gesture. Coming back to herself, Tsunade looked away from Naruto in shame. Naruto noticed the action and laughed a little. To think one conversation turned into this, he said more to himself than her, but due to the small space she still heard him. Sighing, Tsunade decided to talk. Naruto, we need to talk about last night, she said to him. Shocked at her speech, Naruto turned to her. What is there to talk about? I confess to you, you rejected me, and we got here, end of story, he said to her. Outside the shop. WWW, what did he just say? Everyone stuttered trying to process the received information. He confessed to Tsunade-sama, Shizen said as everyone backed away from the shop. Jiraiya made everyone calm down as they all started to listen in. Back inside the shop. That is not the end, Naruto. I said I didn't know how to deal with these feelings. I never rejected you, she said to him. Seeing as how you tried to set me up with Hinata-chan, I would say that is rejecting me loud and clear, Naruto said as he tried to warm himself up. No, that wasn't my intention, nor was this, she said to him. So what is your intention? Was it to let me off easy or just ignore me until I found something else? He asked her. It was nothing like that. Our ages are just too far apart, Naruto. If I was a lot younger, I am sure I wouldn't have to think this hard, she said. So age is what concerns you? He asked. Yes, that is the main reason, but my feelings for you are very mixed right now, Naruto, she said with her head down. Naruto noticed she was in as much distress as he was. He didn't try to see how she felt. She was obviously conflicted by the emotions too, but she tried to handle them. He got up and walked over to Tsunade. Tsunade-chan, he said, which caused her to look up. And Naruto-kun? She said as she looked to see his face coming closer to hers. She wanted to stop him, but something in her head made her resist as Naruto's lips met hers. To Naruto her lips were surprisingly soft and sweet. As he tried to deepen the kiss, he could feel his body growing hotter from the feeling he was having. Tsunade was still in shock over the kiss. Tsunade now knew her feelings, she could the others, but she can't trick herself. She had fallen in love with Naruto. He had opened her heart to the possibility of the two. Soon memories of her brother and her lover entered her head. Before Tsunade submitted to the kiss, she backed away from Naruto and broke the passionate connection between the two. Using every ounce of her power, Tsunade broke through the house and ran off. As she ran off, she mumbled something that only Naruto could hear. I am sorry, Naruto, I just can't, I am so sorry, she said to him. Naruto, still confused, got up and walked out of the store. Damn it, why is this so hard? He said to himself as he walked off, oblivious to the people who were listening in on the conversation. Everyone looked at each other and decided it was too much of a headache to discuss and chose to discuss what happened at a later date as everyone went to explore the town some more. 15 minutes later. Tsunade was running through the streets with her hands covering her face. Even though she covered her, people knew she was crying. As she stopped at near a block of the town, she laid on the ground. Why, I don't know what to do, I love him, I now know I love him, but what do I do? Tsunade wondered as she cried in her arms. Tsunade knew she couldn't deny her feelings. The blonde genin had come into her heart, and now she came to enjoy his presence. She loved everything about him. What scared her wasn't the fact that she loved him, she sort of coped with that, but what scared her is that she wanted to go further and explore the possibilities of a relationship with him and her. Why did you have to do that, Naruto? That kiss has now weakened me to such a state, Tsunade said to herself as she tried to stand. Unknown to her, Shizen ran after her and soon caught up. Tsunade-sama, are you okay? She said as she saw Tsunade struggling to stand to her feet. Oh Shizen, I am fine, don't worry, Tsunade said quickly, wiping the tears from her eyes. Shizen didn't buy her act for even a second. After hearing their conversation, she knew now what was troubling them both. Wow, love truly has no bounds, does it? She asked herself as she looked at Tsunade. She gave Tsunade a hug that made the blonde look shocked at the act. Shizen decided no matter how immoral it was to society, she would get Naruto and Tsunade together. Tsunade-sama, would you like to talk about whatever is bothering you? She asked honestly. Tsunade looked up and smiled. She was glad to have someone to listen to her, though she wondered if Shizen could believe it, which she could since she heard it for herself. Thank you, Shizen, I would like that. Let's go back to a hotel then, she said as Shizen nodded and followed her. Meanwhile, with Naruto. Stupid, 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 he said to himself as he walked the streets. I practically lunged at her in there. She said she was confused. I just wanted to confirm something, but why did I do it then? He wondered as he walked. As he walked, he ran into Shikamaru, who gave him a good hello. Oh, hi Shikamaru, Naruto said with his head down. Shikamaru noticed Naruto wasn't his hyperactive self. Naruto man, what is the matter with you? He asked. In truth, he knew what was wrong, but to hear it from Naruto himself was a bit better. What are you talking about, man? Nothing is wrong, Naruto said as he walked away. Shikamaru pondered his idea and what he was about to do. Rubbing his head, he sighed. Man, this is going to be a drag, he said as he did his shadow possession jutsu on Naruto. He made the blonde freeze in place, and he turned him around to face him. Well, if nothing is wrong, you won't mind talking about it, he said as he manipulated the blonde to a hotel. As they walked, Naruto tried to fight the shadow, but he knew it was no use. As they walked, both were in utter silence. 13 minutes later. Naruto and Tsunade arrived at the hotel at the exact same time. Both walked as they looked at each other from across the entrance. A huge blush came to both as they instantly looked away from each other. Feeling the awkward silence, Tsunade turned to Shizen. Well Shizen, let's go inside, she said as she walked inside the hotel. She moved so fast that Shizen was left coughing at some of the dust that Tsunade had kicked up. Naruto looked at Shikamaru. Well, since you dragged me out here, let's go, he said as he ran inside also. Shikamaru rubbed his head and he looked at Shizen. Both inched closer together and whispered. Is this really going to work, Shizen? Shikamaru asked. Even the lazy genius couldn't figure this plan out. Yet trust me, Operation Impossible couple pairing is a go, Shizen said as his eyes flared up. Shikamaru yawned. That name is weird, but let's get this over with, he said as they gave each other a thumbs up and went inside. Back in Konoha. Danzo was frantic around the office. He had lost track of Naruto and Tsunade. Both did not appear at the fire demos like he thought. His ninja said that they waited for 6 days, but nothing happened. Damn it, where did they go? Danzo said as he looked at the map. He was clearly getting frustrated at losing the 2 ex-Konoha ninja. To make matters worse, he was being investigated by the fire daimyo herself, but she hadn't nominated him for Hokage, and felt that he had stolen the position. He was currently under probation for that issue, and more than half of his powers and the Hokage were gone while this investigation began. Damn it, why is this happening now of all times? He wondered as he tried to predict where the 2 possibly were. His village was getting impatient. They all ranted about wanted the demon's body and his protector's head. Danzo managed to keep the people from a frenzy, but he was losing control and fast. I will find you, you can't hide forever, he said with a sadistic smile. Back in the town, in the hotel. Shizen, hurry up, Tsunade said as she dragged Shizen into the door and placed a soundproof seal on the space around them. They stood in the limited space and began their talk. Okay, Tsunade-sama, what is wrong? Shizen asked with a fake confused look. Tsunade looked out the window and it seemed safe. You will not tell anyone about this, Tsunade said as she held up a fist. Shizen nodded instantly as she promised not to tell a soul, which she would have to. Tsunade put her fist down. I believe I am in love with Naruto, Tsunade said with a blush to her face. Shizen pretended to be shocked. She knew she was in love, but tried to keep up the act. Really, Tsunade-sama, with Naruto? Shizen asked. Yeah, I have completely fallen for him, she said as her blush burned brighter across her face. Shizen, do you think it is wrong to feel this way? She asked as she looked at Shizen for an answer. Well, Tsunade-sama, I am not sure. I am a little surprised though, Shizen said as she tried to play being cool. I tried to convince myself that it was impossible for us, but after what happened I don't know, Tsunade said to her. Shizen was surprised. She didn't know what happened beyond the talk. So what happened? She asked. Tsunade looked up at her and blushed. He kissed me, she said. Shizen blushed as she imagined Naruto and Tsunade kissing. Tsunade snapped her out of her daze as she continued. I might want a relationship with him, but I wonder about it, she continued. My heart aches for him and his aches for me, but something is keeping me from him, and I don't know what, Tsunade said as she ended her speech. Shizen processed the information and began to speak. Tsunade-sama, I believe that love holds no bounds between people. I also believe that if two people love each other enough for their hearts to ache for each other, then they should be together. The only thing holding you both back is each other, Shizen said as she sat on the bed. Tsunade looked at Shizen in understanding. She knew Shizen was right. She loved Naruto and he loved her, so why weren't they together? Tsunade thanked Shizen and ran off to find Naruto. Shizen smiled as she laid in the bed. Go get your happiness, Tsunade-sama, said Shizen on the bed. Meanwhile, with Naruto and Shikamaru. So mind telling me what happened between you two? Shikamaru said as he sat on the bed. Naruto was walking around the room back and forth trying to gather his thoughts. Shikamaru, I love Tsunade, Naruto said to Shikamaru. He gasped though he already knew about it. I don't know why I do, but before I knew it I began to love her presence as she wormed her way into my heart, he said as he continued to talk. I can't distinguish between what's right and my own feelings, he said as Shikamaru nodded. Why don't you just tell her that you like her? Shikamaru said bluntly. I think I made my feelings clear twice when I told her and when I kissed her, Naruto said with a blush. Shikamaru almost choked on those words. Are you serious? He asked for confirmation. Naruto nodded. He sighed. So troublesome. Look, Naruto, I don't have the answer for you, but all I can say is that you should follow what your heart believes. No one can tell you who to give your heart to. I personally won't care if you and Tsunade dated. If you are happy, then I am alright with it, he said Naruto. Naruto seemed happy to hear those words as he looked at Shikamaru. What if she doesn't return my feelings? He asked a little sad. The Naruto I know would keep fighting until he got her to love him, Shikamaru said with a smile. Naruto's face lit up in understanding. That's right, he was Naruto Uzumaki. He never backed down from a problem. He would confront any obstacle that he faced. He would get Tsunade to love him. He just knew he would. Thank you, Shikamaru. That's right, screw what other people think. I love Tsunade-chan and she is going to be mine, he said as he ran out the door to find Tsunade. Man, well, that wasn't as troublesome as I thought, Shikamaru said with a smile on his face as he laid on the bed. Go get your happiness, Naruto, he said as he fell asleep on the couch. After 20 minutes of random searching, both Naruto and Tsunade found each other at the entrance of the hotel. Both saw that the other was looking for them as they wiped the sweat from their faces. Naruto walked up to Tsunade and Tsunade walked up to Naruto. They both looked in each other's eyes for 5 minutes before talking. Hey you, Tsunade said with a smile. Hey yourself, Naruto said with a smile. In the hotel. Naruto and Tsunade just ran into each other. They had been frantically looking for each other after the conversation with their friends. They came across each other at the door as they wiped the sweat of their faces. Both stared at each other for a good 10 minutes, before words came from their mouths. Hey, how you doing? Naruto said, nervous at the situation he was in. Tsunade was blushing at the sight of him. She wasn't sure if she should run or kiss him, but she had to say something. Oh, I am fine, was just taking a little jog, she lied to him as he stared at her. She didn't know why she said that, but what she wanted to say wouldn't come out of her mouth. Both tried to speak, but the embarrassing moment claimed both of their voices. Unknown to them, Shizen and Shikamaru were watching it all go down. Go for it, Tsunade-sama, you can do it, Shizen said as she watched from behind a wall with Shikamaru. Sigh, this is so troubly so dash, he paused with Shizen's hand to his mouth. Quiet, it is getting good, she said to him. They both stared back at the two, who were still trying to express themselves. Naruto's blush was shining brighter as he tried to talk. Tsunade wasn't doing any better, she couldn't look Naruto in the eye as they stood there. Both couldn't take the silence, and they stared at each other. Listen, Tsunade, I dash. Listen, Naruto, I dash. They both were shocked that they spoke at the same time. Both immediately blushed as they turned from the other's view. Naruto regained his composure first, and decided to continue. Oh, listen, Tsunade, I am sorry that I kissed you back there, Naruto said as he shocked the woman. Tsunade decided to continue the conversation. And no, that was okay, I am sorry that I ran off the way I did, she said to him. He looked up as he stared into her beautiful eyes. He was always entranced by them. They seemed to light his soul on fire as he looked at them. Tsunade looked at him and blushed. He was always there for her. She couldn't think about anything but him. He filled her every thought. Before both knew it, they were drawing close to each other. They were so entranced by the other's presence that they didn't notice that their lips were dangerously close to the other's. Both said something as they inched closer. They didn't hear what the other said as they were too focused on the other's eyes. "Tsunade-chan," Naruto said as he leaned in closer. "Naruto-kun," Tsunade said as she leaned in closer. Both were so close to each other. They felt the other's hot breath on their face as they stopped for one instant to take one more look at the other's eyes. "Finally found you," Ino said as she startled the two out of their moment. Shizen and Shikamaru facepalmed themselves as they almost saw something amazing. Naruto blushed as much as Tsunade as the two stepped away from each other. They looked at each other, then at Ino. Both got up and walked back to their rooms with an embarrassed look on their faces. "Damn it, Ino, always interrupting," Naruto said as he walked back. "Damn that Ino, that moment felt too good to be true," Tsunade said as she walked back to her room. As the two left, Shikamaru and Shizen left from the wall as they walked towards Ino. "Ino, you just had to come in at the wrong time," Shikamaru said as he sighed. "All that hard work," Shizen said with her head down. Ino looked confused as they two rubbed their temples and walked away. Naruto went into his room and Tsunade went into her room. Both recalled the experience that almost occurred between them. "I was so entranced by her eyes that everything else didn't matter," Naruto said to himself. "I almost went for him regardless of the circumstances," Tsunade said to herself. "I wanted to kiss her. I wanted to kiss him. I love her. I love him. Her lips on mine. His lips on mine. Screw age. Screw age. Tsunade is mine. Naruto is mine. My heart doesn't hurt anymore, in fact it feels comforted now. My heart doesn't hurt now, it feels harmonious now. I have to see her again today. I have to see him again today." Both stayed in their thoughts as they thought about the other. Before either of them knew it, night had claimed the sky as they walked out of their rooms and headed for the entrance to get something to eat. Tsunade walked casually as she neared the entrance. As she came up to the entrance, Tsunade blushed at who she saw walking also. "And then Naruto-kun," she said as her blush reddened. Naruto looked up out of his daze to see the object of his desire across from him. "Tt Tsunade-chan," he said as he looked at her. Both stared at each other as they tried to say something, but couldn't. Before the two could say something, they both heard a noise that grumbled throughout the hotel entrance. Both laughed as they gripped their stomachs. "Well, we can't speak our feelings on an empty stomach, can we?" Naruto said as he walked to the entrance. Tsunade nodded as she walked towards the entrance also. Naruto looked at her. If he was going to do something, it would have to be now. "Ahem," he said, getting her attention. Tsunade blushed as she saw Naruto stick out his arm. Tsunade chuckled as she grabbed his arm and faced her hands on his shoulder. "Let's go," she said to him as he nodded as they left the hotel. 1 hour later. Both were in a restaurant happily enjoying their meals. Both blushed as this dinner felt like a date to the two of them. Naruto wasn't being his usual self. He was showing manners at the table. He knew which utensil was for a certain dish. He had surprised Tsunade as she had never seen this side of him before. Noticing her staring, Naruto chuckled. "What I can't show the woman I love my disgusting manners, can I?" he said as he smiled. Tsunade blushed at the thought of his words. She felt happy to hear them. The woman he loves, huh?" she thought as she smiled. Both continued to eat to their heart's content as they enjoyed the romance in the air. Across from them, some of the people from the Rookie 9 were watching along with Shizen. "Come on, Naruto, just tell her," Kiba said as he looked back at the two. "Sure, Kiba, they will spot us and that will ruin the moment," Shizen said as Kiba lowered his voice. "This is so romantic," Hinata said as she stared. She was a bit sad that Naruto didn't like her, but she quickly got over it and was happy for him. "Tsunade and Naruto, now I could never have seen that," Niji said as he watched. "Me neither," Tenden said as she watched. "So youthful," Lee said as he wanted to jump at the two, but resisted. 2 hours later. Naruto and Tsunade finished their meals and got up to leave. Everyone followed behind them. "I had a great time, Naruto-kun," Tsunade said as she walked with him. "I am glad. I couldn't bear to let you pay," he said as he rubbed his head. Tsunade chuckled at him. He fascinated her to no end. As the two walked, they could feel they were being watched and nodded at each other. As they came to an open area, they stared at the vast view of the scenery. Before both knew it, they were staring back at each other. They had seen each other's eyes and couldn't help but stare at each other. They completely forgot that the others were watching with happy faces as they looked at the two. Naruto brought his face to Tsunade's again as she lowered hers. They still stared at each other as they came to each other's face. Their hot breath was on each other's face as they were in their own thoughts. I love her. I love him. She is my Tsunade-chan. He is my Naruto-kun. They finally brought their faces together, as they shared a passionate kiss over the moonlight. Everyone watched suddenly form tears of joy as they saw the two kiss without a worry in the world. That is so beautiful. So cute. Nice job, Naruto. I am so happy for you, Tsunade-sama. Everyone gave their various comments as they continued to watch. As Naruto and Tsunade kissed, they felt all the happiness in the world as the heat from their bodies flowed through the air. Both stayed in the kiss for 10 minutes as they parted for air. Naruto and Tsunade's faces looked flushed as they breathed hard at each other. Both looked into the other's eyes. Naruto broke the silence. I love you, Tsunade-chan, he said to her. Tsunade smiled as she looked at him. I love you, Naruto-kun, she said to him. Late night on the outskirts of town, 9 p.m. Naruto and Tsunade were still on the edge of the hills. Both thought over the moment that they just shared. Neither cared about the age difference, but they knew that their friends and all the nations of the world would. Both smiled as they walked back to town. Behind them, all their friends were hiding in the trees as they saw the spectacular event that had unfolded. Wow, can't say I expected that, Kiba said as he was still in shock over the kiss the two had. No kidding, Naruto and Tsunade, still can't believe it, Tenten said as she tried to comprehend the situation. Everyone gave their own personal opinions about the situation until they decided it was safe to come down. Everyone for some reason had smiles on their faces, though everyone knew that such feeling of immorality were not accepted. Everyone decided to put off the problem until a later tomorrow. In the town, Naruto and Tsunade were still walking beside each other, as they felt a huge weight drop off their shoulders. Both were in their own thoughts as they walked through the town. I can't believe we just did that, it felt so wrong, but so right, Naruto said as he walked alongside his newly found happiness. Those lips of his were so soft, if it wasn't for these people here, Tsunade said as she went through the town. As they walked through the town, a problem appeared that made Tsunade doubt this new relationship with the blonde. I do love him and he loves me, I know this. But this age difference is too much of a damper on things, Tsunade thought as the two walked back to the hotel. Naruto looked up at Tsunade and saw her in deep thought. As he looked up at her, a question formed in his mind. I do love her, but how can we express this out in the open with this much of an age difference? Naruto wondered as they arrived at the hotel. Tsunade and Naruto got to the hotel, but were in too much thought as they went the same way and appeared in Naruto's room. As the door closed behind them, both were shocked out of their thinking. I heard a slam. Wait, this isn't my room, Tsunade said as she looked around to see that no of her things were in the room. Naruto looked up and saw the usual, but he was suddenly startled by the person next to him. Tsunade-chan, how did you get into my room? He wondered as he pointed his finger at her. Tsunade saw him next to her and remembered that she did follow him to his room, but was into much deep thought to realize it. I think I was thinking too much and didn't notice, Tsunade said as she blushed. She was in Naruto's room and the moment they just shared at the hill brought some rather intense images to her head. Oh no, not that, images leave my head, Tsunade said as she tried to keep her mind occupied. Tsunade suddenly saw the way out. All she had to do was leave his room. Naruto-kun, all I have to do is leave, this means nothing, Tsunade said as she looked at him. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief as he wasn't sure where this was going to go. TT, that's right, WWL, see you tomorrow, Tsunade-chan, Naruto said as he waved goodbye. BB bye Naruto-kun, she said as she headed for the door. Tsunade breathed easily as she turned to leave. However, Kami was not on their side tonight. As Tsunade opened the door, she stumbled across Shikamaru and Shizen, who were about to open the door. Everyone stared in silence as they all had gaping mouths open. Shikamaru and Shizen recovered first. Oh my goodness, Tsunade-sama, Shizen said as she covered her mouth and blushed. This is a troublesome situation, Shikamaru said. No, it's not what you think, we just dash, Tsunade was cut off by Shikamaru. Oh, it's exactly what we think it is, just let me get my things and I'll go, he said with a smirk. Naruto stared as Shikamaru packed his stuff and headed for the door. Well, I will sleep on the floor of Shizen's room. Sleep well, you guys, they said as Shizen ran and gave Tsunade her suitcase and scrolls and closed the door. Both Naruto and Tsunade were left stunned. Their friends formed a big misunderstanding of the situation, and now Tsunade is roomed in with Naruto. Tsunade fell to the ground depressed. Kami-sama, why? I have done my job, I pay my taxes, why am I so unlucky even in misunderstandings? Tsunade said as she comically cried on the floor. Naruto was still standing, but his mind was in the gutter. Tsunade-chan is in my room, Tsunade-chan and I will be in the same bed, Tsunade-chan will sleep with me, Naruto said as he tried to find a solution to this mess. Naruto immediately blushed at his last thought as he realized what he thought. Suddenly images of a certain erotic activity came into his mind as remembered his situation. The images were too much for the blonde as he fell to the floor, heated from the images that came to play. Tsunade saw and chuckled at him. Wow, so even he has such thoughts, she said as she walked over to him. Even though it would be unofficial to most people, the fact remained that Naruto and Tsunade were now currently a couple and couples did do certain things together. Tsunade thought as she picked up the fainted blonde and carried him to the bed and put his head on her lap. Tsunade chuckled at the sight of his calm face. 3 hours later. Naruto made a groan as he opened his eyes. Naruto looked up to see Tsunade looking at him with her hand in his hair. Hey you, did you have a good dream? She said as she smiled. Naruto got up and looked at her. Tsunade's expression turned serious. Naruto-kun, we need to talk, Tsunade said, starting the blonde. Alright Tsunade-chan, Naruto said as he sat next to her. Tsunade began. And Naruto-kun, I love you, you know this, but we can't display this publicly, Tsunade said as she looked down at the floor. Naruto nodded. He thought the same thing. He knew that such a relationship would be difficult to keep as they were now. I know that, I have thought about this too, Naruto said to her. Tsunade nodded. I think that this should be kept under the radar so we don't get tormented by people, Tsunade said as she looked at Naruto. Naruto, though a bit depressed, nodded. He knew this was the only way to keep a relationship like this going. Seeing him depressed, Tsunade kept thinking in her mind. Every instinct in her body told her to not to go through with this, but she persisted through the common sense. Now Naruto-kun, I didn't saw we were over, we can still have fun, Tsunade said with a wink in her eyes. Naruto looked up and blushed heavily. He knew where she was going with that statement. Tsunade-chan is a pervert, Naruto said to her. Tsunade hit him on the top of his head. I am not a pervert, Tsunade said as she blushed. Naruto rubbed his head as he smiled. Well, I love my Tsunade-chan anyway, but I am too young, aren't I? He thought as he looked up at her. Tsunade smiled. She realized that obstacle as she had thought of a way around it. Naruto, how good are you at the transformation jutsu? Tsunade said as she turned to Naruto. Naruto looked at her. Only good enough to fool people, not an expert or anything like that, Naruto said as he looked at her. Tsunade clasped her hands together. That's good, that is more than enough, Tsunade said as she brought her hands together. Suddenly smoke appeared and covered her body. Naruto coughed as the smoke disappeared. He stared in shock as he saw a 19-year-old Tsunade in her clothes. Naruto gasped at the beauty she had shown. She was a lot thinner and shorter than her last appearance. Naruto was still shocked at the change until Tsunade noticed and blushed at his intense stares. I take it you like this, Naruto-kun? Tsunade said as she did a pose for him. Naruto got a nosebleed as he gave a thumbs up. It's lovely, Tsunade-chan, I love it, Naruto said to her. Tsunade blushed as she nodded. Now this is a way around that age group, Tsunade said as she looked at Naruto. Naruto smiled as he did his transformation. Tsunade looked at the puff of smoke. She waited until the smoke disappeared. Tsunade stared as she saw 18-year-old Naruto appear in the smoke. It was Tsunade's turn to blush as she saw Naruto's body. He had defined the muscles around his body, making him seem so handsome. He gave a mature air around him that Tsunade just loved. Naruto decided to snap Tsunade out of her daze. So how do you like this body? Naruto said to her. Tsunade started to speak as she couldn't bring herself to respond. That body is so hot, Tsunade thought as she tried to contain herself. Feeling more composed, Tsunade responded. That is a good body, nice one, Naruto-kun, Tsunade said as she sat back on the bed. Naruto followed her lead and sat next to her. Tsunade blushed as she stared at Naruto. She couldn't believe the circumstances right now. Naruto looked at Tsunade. Somewhere in his mind he thanked Kami for this. Tsunade-chan, I love you, Naruto said as he leaned in and whispered in her ear, causing her body to shiver. She looked at him and gave in. She wasn't going to fight the urges anymore. Naruto-kun, I love you too, Tsunade said to him. And then Naruto-kun, I love it so much, harder, faster Naruto-kun, Tsunade screamed as she felt Naruto fill her up. Everyone in their adjacent rooms could only blush or try to tune out the erotic noise. Oh come on, not that, please stop, Kiba said as he tossed and turned in his bed. He was trying to get all the images and noises of an erotic Tsunade out of his head. So youthful, such acts are glorious for the world, Lee said as he blushed, having sweet dreams about his training. Be quiet, stop please, the images are too much, Niji said as he tried to stop a nosebleed from forming as he slept. My bugs are getting restless from this unpleasant noise, Shinto said as he tried to sleep. If I had known this would happen I wouldn't have come with these two, Tenten said across from Hinata. Hinata was too embarrassed to say anything and decided to try and sleep it off. Yeah Naruto, nice job, Ino said as she and Choji heard the noise from hallway. Choji was munching on his chips and didn't hear anything. What's going on Ino? He asked with his mouth full of chips. Ino blushed as she turned to Choji. Oh nothing Choji, now let's go over the next restaurant, she said trying to save the night the blondes were having. As Ino left with Choji, everyone was startled as they hear another scream. Oichhhh Naruto kun, its so big, faster, Tsunade yelled at the top of her lungs. Everyone's blush turned even more red than before as everyone now had steam coming out of their heads. Niji was trying to cover his ears, Hinata was out cold, Ino smirked, Choji didn't hear a thing. Everyone else had nosebleeds as they fainted on their beds. Shikamaru and Shizen were trying to keep their heads as they heard the erotic play going on in the room. He's really giving it to her, Shikamaru said as he heard. In truth, he wanted to leave, but Shizen threatened to dissect him for medical purposes if he did. Shizen kept her ear near the door as she heard her master's screams of pleasure. Is Naruto-kun really that good? Shizen wondered as she listened. Everyone was going about their own way of dealing with the intense noises. Apparently Tsunade and Naruto forgot to keep their voices down as they experienced each other. As the noise died down everyone felt they could breathe easily and finally get some sleep. As everyone tried to get the erotic vision out of their heads. Everyone's eyes shot open to the constant screams. And Naruto-kun, the stamina of yours is just incredible, harder, Tsunade said as she screamed. Everyone lost their minds as they plopped into their beds. Everyone sighed as they looked at their ceilings. It's going to be a long night, they all said as they tried any means to drown out the noise. Flashback end. As Naruto and Tsunade came down the stairs, they looked at the others in confusion. Everyone looked exhausted like they got no sleep, due to obvious reasons. Why is everyone tired? Didn't you guys sleep? Naruto asked them. Everyone shot Naruto a bit of ki as they looked at him dumbfounded. Niji lost his mind. Sleep? How could we sleep when Niji was cut off by everyone's hand to his mouth. Everyone laughed nervously as they all regained their composure. We just stayed up too late, we're sorry, they said as they bowed. Naruto looked at Tsunade, who looked back at him. Both smiled oblivious to everyone's intentions. Well, try not to anymore, they said as their faces lit up. Everyone could almost fall over exhausted at the two blondes. Are they really that dense? Kiba wondered to himself. Tsunade motioned for everyone as they followed along the road. Everyone treaded slowly on the road as they all yawned due to the lack of sleep. Everyone looked up to see Naruto and Tsunade having a joyous conversation. Almost everyone smiled at how much the two changed in a few days. They seemed to enjoy each other's company much more than before. Tsunade looked like a huge weight came off her shoulders. Naruto wasn't clutching his heart anymore in pain. Both seemed to enjoy life a lot more. As Tsunade turned to look back she saw they were shy one person. Hey everyone, where is Jiraiya? She asked them. Everyone now saw that the pervy sage was gone. Everyone shrugged their shoulders as they looked at each other. No sooner did the said man appear next to Tsunade with a look of concern on his face. Jiraiya, where were you? Tsunade asked. Jiraiya dismissed the question as he looked back in worry. Tsunade, you and Naruto should go into a clear field, we have some company, Jiraiya said to her. Tsunade and Naruto began to worry as they knew who Jiraiya was talking about. Naruto whispered to Tsunade. It seems we stayed in that town too long, Tsunade-chan, Naruto said to her. Tsunade looked at him and nodded. I know we should deal with this, right Golden Fox-sama, Tsunade said as she smiled. Naruto laughed as he looked at her. Of course, Haim, he said as they turned around to the group. Everyone was shocked by the initial stop of pace. Everyone, me and Naruto have to go do something in the woods, be right back, Tsunade said as she grabbed Naruto and they went into the wood. Everyone sighed. Shizen knew what was up and decided to leave them to the intrusion. Okay, everyone, until Naruto-kun and Tsunade-sama come back, let's head to the next town, Shizen said as everyone nodded and ran off to the next town. Plains on the outskirts of Suna. Naruto and Tsunade decided to wait for their expected guests to arrive. Both were a bit tense about going up against their own village members. Naruto looked up to see Tsunade looking more tense. He grabbed her hand and kissed it, gently knocking Tsunade out of her daze. Don't worry, Haim, we will win, Naruto said with a sign of confidence. Tsunade smiled at him. Of course we will, Golden Fox-sama, thank you, she said as the two waited. 20 minutes later. 4 Umbu officers came to the plains. They were all surprised that they had been discovered by Tsunade and Naruto. Both were smiling at each other. Well, Tsunade-chan, it seems company has arrived, Naruto said with a smile. Tsunade turned to him and had a smile that lit up Naruto's day. So it seems, Naruto-kun, shall we say hello? She said as she put a punch into her palm. Why yes, let's go, Naruto said as they jumped from the tree to the field. The Umbu smirked, thinking the blondes didn't know their place. We have been decreed by Danzo-sama to have both of you detained and killed, the leader said to them. Naruto smiled. Well, they don't beat around the bush, Naruto said to her. One of the many annoyances they have, Tsunade said to him. Oh well, let's go, I want to spend time with my Haim, Naruto said to her. Very well, let's get started, Tsunade said as she disappeared. All the Umbu were shocked as one felt his mask get crushed upon seeing that Tsunade slammed him into her fist. Her being the strongest hitter of the Sannin didn't make that any better. She sent him flying as he landed into a tree and was out cold. Well, I have proven my point, Tsunade said happily. I guess it's my turn, Naruto said as he stretched. Naruto faced 2 Umbu as they all had a stare down. Naruto's smile never went away. He decided to speak. I will show you guys what Konoha gave up, Naruto said as he clasped his hands together. Both Umbu laughed, thinking the genin was ridiculous. Never in any recorded history did a genin ninja beat an Umbu. It was just unheard of, not proven. As Naruto charged his chakra, the wind began to sway. The Umbu were too busy laughing to notice the change. Naruto smiled. Futon, wind style, dash, he said as he ran at the Umbu. The Umbu noticed the charge and saw Naruto launch his fist at one of them. He ducked easily and laughed. Naruto smiled. As Naruto passed them, he said the last words that one of them would ever hear. Ryu no Kaze no Ha, Dragon's Wind Blade, he said as the wind around everyone settled down. Everyone finished laughing as one of the men stopped. He wasn't laughing. He stood perfectly still. Hey man, what is wrong? One of the Umbu said to him. He didn't respond. Both the leader and his subordinate got worried. Hey, what is the matter with you? The leader yelled as he shook his subordinate. As he shook, everyone saw a line appear through the man's body. He suddenly fell apart in 2. Both Umbu officers were shocked. Naruto smiled. Well, that jutsu works out real well, Naruto said to them. Now to keep it going. Futon, Fuatsu no Domu, wind style, wind pressure dome, Naruto said as he formed a dome of wind around the Umbu. Soon all of the shinobi were encased in the dome. As they tried to get out, their breath became heavier and heavier. Damn, this dome is sucking away the oxygen, one of them said. That's not all it does, Naruto said as he smiled. Soon all Umbu were getting caught by the wind. Each Umbu was trying to find cover, but it was futile. The dome was too tough and Naruto had more than enough chakra to keep everyone in that dome for a good long while. As they got cut, each Umbu was on their last legs. Damn demon, you will not win, Danzo-sama will avenge us, the leader said as he fell to the ground devoid of any oxygen. Naruto stopped the wind dome and headed over to Tsunade, who was a little shocked. And Naruto-kun, where did you learn those futon jutsus? Tsunade asked curiously. Naruto smiled at the question and looked up at her. Oh, that, well, after I got beat by Sasuke, I have been using that week to train as I found out my nature affinity. It really comes in handy, Naruto said to her. Tsunade smiled at her blonde's development. Well, Haim, shall we go? Naruto said as he knelt on one knee and held out his hand. Tsunade smiled as she looked at him. Why yes, Golden Fox-sama, let's go, she said as she took his hand and the two ran up the trees to catch up to their friends. The entire fight took over 30 minutes. Later that same evening, Naruto and Tsunade had just beaten their first attempted captors in a battle, with the couple still winning and staying together. As they ran through the trees, they wondered how much traveling everyone did ahead of them. Man, I would have figured that we would have seen them by now, Naruto said to his Haim as he walked along the rugged roadway. Tsunade smiled. Well, we have time to ourselves now, Tsunade said as she shot Naruto a smile and transformed back into her 19-years-old form. Naruto laughed as he nodded. In truth, with everyone being around them, it was awkward to do anything together, even though everyone now knew about the two blondes' relationship to each other. Naruto smiled as he got an idea and added chakra to his hands and arms to gain more strength. Tsunade turned to him in confusion. She wondered what he was going to do. Naruto-kun, what are you dash? She was interrupted, being surprised that Naruto disappeared. She was suddenly lifted off the ground as Naruto held her bridal style in his arms. Naruto smiled as he brought a shocked Tsunade up to him. This way of traveling feels better, Naruto said as he walked. Tsunade blushed at the sudden expression of affection Naruto just displayed for her. Tsunade's shocked expression changed into one of happiness as she nuzzled into her blonde's chest. Naruto smiled as he walked. I will always love you, Tsunade, Naruto said as he saw Tsunade go to sleep in his arms. Naruto walked lightly as not to disturb his hime. 3 hours later. Naruto still had Tsunade in his arms as he looked up to see that they were coming up to the next town. Naruto came up to see all of his companions waiting at the gate for him and Tsunade. While everyone sat at the gate, they all wondered what was taking Naruto and Tsunade so long to arrive at the town. Man, what are those two doing? Neji wondered as he leaned against the wall. I am sure they will be here soon, Tenten said, trying to reassure Neji that they were okay. After 15 minutes, everyone opted to go look for the blondes as Hinata looked up at the gate. She was suddenly shocked as she saw something amazing. I think I found Naruto-kun and Tsunade-sama, Hinata said with a blush. Everyone's eyes shot open as they ran to the gate. Shizen and Jiraiya got up from their spots and walked to the entrance. Everyone's eyes hot open again, and their jaws dropped to the ground. Kiba was the first to come to his senses. What the hell is that? He yelled as everyone nodded their heads. They all saw Naruto carrying a 19-years-old girl in his arms like he and the girl were newlyweds. Everyone ran up to the blonde as they were still shocked at the entrance the two blondes made. Naruto, who is that? Shikamaru said as he looked at the beautiful girl. Naruto smiled as no one knew this was Tsunade. Naruto stopped smirking at tell us who this is, and on another note, where is Tsunade-san? Kiba said to him. Naruto couldn't stop laughing as he felt everyone's stares at him become deadly to him. Naruto controlled his laughter as he looked at everyone. Alright, I will answer both of you questions, Naruto said as everyone stared waiting for an answer. Naruto decided to surprise everyone as he leaned in and gave his blonde Haim a kiss on the lips. Everyone gasped as they saw that Naruto had the audacity to kiss an unknown and unconscious girl. Naruto smiled as he came back up. Tsunade-chan, time to wake up, Naruto said to her. Everyone nearly gasped as they looked at Naruto. They thought he was blind. Tsunade was in her 50s and this girl was more or less 40 years younger than her. Ino laughed. Naruto, how could you mistake this girl for our old master? Ino said as she laughed. The unconscious girl suddenly grew a vein on her forehead at the thought of being called old. The girl woke up and kissed Naruto on the cheek. Naruto smiled as he set her down. Tsunade walked over to Ino as her vein grew bigger. Who are you calling old? Tsunade yelled as she punched Ino into a correspondent wall. Everyone was shocked at the girl's amazing strength. This was without a doubt the blonde Sannin, Tsunade. Everyone got on their knees as they begged for forgiveness. Tsunade smiled as she turned to Naruto. Naruto smirked as he nodded his head. Tsunade smiled as she turned to them. I forgive you guys, but call me old and I will hurt you, she said to them. Everyone bowed their heads as a thank you and ran away either to explore the town or run away from Tsunade. Shizen smirked as she walked towards the blondes. Did you have to go that far, Tsunade-sama? Shizen asked. Yes, I did, and by Kami I would do it again, Tsunade said as she smiled. As the three smiled, they all continued to walk towards the town. Shizen turned to see a frozen Jiraiya. Tsunade-sama, what do we do about him? Shizen asked as Tsunade and Naruto looked back to see Jiraiya eroding away with the wind. Well, he will get out of it soon, I think, Naruto said with a whimsical smile. Tsunade smiled as she nodded in agreement as Shizen nodded and the three walked off to go get lunch. 1 hour later. Jiraiya was still standing there at the gate. 2 hours later. Still there. 3 hours later. Jiraiya suddenly comically cried as he looked at the town. Even the brat got someone and it was the person who I asked out plenty of times, but always got rejected, Jiraiya said as he snapped out of his daze and walked back to the town. Jiraiya smiled as he thought to himself. Oh, I have got to know about this, Jiraiya said as he walked back to find Tsunade and Naruto. With Tsunade and Naruto. The three were walking as Naruto pointed to a restaurant. Hey Haim, how about we go to that restaurant? Naruto said as he pointed to an expensive restaurant. Tsunade smiled as she looked at the restaurant, but turned depressed. Golden Fox-sama, you know we can't afford that, she said as she smiled. Naruto smiled and looked at her. Clearly she was underestimating his love for her. Naruto laughed as Tsunade turned to him confused. Haim, who said we would be paying for this? Naruto said to her. Tsunade's eyes shot open as she looked at her blonde lover. Wait Naruto-kun, you can't really mean dash. Tsunade was interrupted by Naruto's smile as he took her inside the restaurant. Tsunade turned to Shizen, who was still confused. I guess I will see you later, Tsunade said as she was dragged by Naruto. Shizen stayed in the same spot as she tried to fathom what just happened. As all the information hit her, she suddenly gasped. When does Naruto have that kind of money, and did I just get left behind? She wondered as she smiled. Oh well, good luck Tsunade-sama. Okay, time to go get something to eat, Shizen said as she ran to the nearest restaurant. With Naruto and Tsunade. Naruto took Tsunade up to the entrance as he looked at one of the waiters. Hello sir, is there a table for two? Naruto asked him. The man looked at the boy then at the woman. He falsely assumed that the woman was the boy's mother and smiled. Why yes we do, we have a table next to a window over here, please follow me, he said as he smiled. Naruto noticed the man's actions and felt a bit jilted. So you think I am a kid, huh? Naruto said as he clasped his hands and gathered some chakra. Some smoke appeared as the 12-years-old was replaced with a well-toned and handsome 18-years-old man. Oh forgive me sir, I will seat you right away, the man said as he hurried Naruto and a smiling Tsunade to their table. As the man sat the two down, both laughed at this opportunity. I still can't believe you got us into this place, Tsunade said to him. Well, I do like to impress those I love, Naruto said to her. Tsunade blushed at the smooth talker that was her blonde lover. Well, I am glad I love you, she said to him. And I love you, Naruto said to her. Both waited to take their orders. 2 hours later. Naruto and Tsunade were peacefully eating as they continued their romantic date. Both talked about their current ambitions since the ambitions they had in Konoha was gone. Naruto now just wanted to be with Tsunade and have the power to protect her. Tsunade smiled as she told him her ambitions. Hers were to stay with him and support him. Both had a great time together. Tsunade looked into her blonde's eyes. She was always entranced by them. They seemed to always pierce her soul. She felt so weak whenever her eyes looked into his. Naruto was happy that he had gotten the woman of his dreams. Both chose to disregard what society thought and decided to be together. In all truth, either was unhappy with the result of their choice. The two finished their meals as Naruto paid the bill and the two walked out. In the streets. Naruto and Tsunade noticed that the sundown and night overwhelmed the town. Tsunade laid her arms on Naruto's shoulder as the two walked towards the hotel that Shizen rented out for everyone to stay. Naruto smiled as he felt Tsunade on his shoulder. As the two entered the hotel, they stopped to see everyone waiting for them. Everyone sighed and smiled as they saw the blonde couple show up. Are you two ever going to stop your lovey-dovey act? Ino asked them with an ice pack on her cheek. Naruto smiled. But then I could see my Haim smile, Naruto said with a smile. And I couldn't feel my Fox-sama's heavenly body around my arms, Tsunade said with a grin. Everyone hit the floor from the responses and tried to regain some composure. After a few laughs, everyone calmed down and got serious. So what are the rooming arrangements? Niji asked Shizen. Shizen turned to everyone and smiled. Alright, the rooming goes as follows and no, there will be no changes, Shizen said as she grabbed the list. Here are the roommates, Shizen said as she began. Room 1, Niji Hyuga and Shino Aburame. Room 2, Kiba Inuzuka and Choji Akamichi. Room 4, Rock Lee and Shikamura Nara. Room 5, Ino Yamanaka and me. Room 6, Hanada Hyuga and Tenten Kurami. Room 7, Naruto Uzumaki and Tsunade-sama, Shizen said to everyone as they all nodded and accepted the room numbers. Hinata and Tenten were the most troubled. Oh Kami, please, just don't let them do it tonight, please Kami, I beg of you, Tenten and Hinata said in their thoughts. Tsunade and Naruto agreed to it, and everyone went off to their separate rooms. Shizen, wait a second, I need to see you, Tsunade said as she startled Shizen. Tsunade turned Shizen around as they headed for the front door. Be right back Naruto-kun, Tsunade said as they disappeared out the door. Naruto was confused, but smiled. Oh well, no point in trying to figure something out, it might be troublesome, Naruto said to himself and smiled. Wow, to quote Shikamaru, this is a rare day, Naruto thought as he headed towards the designated room. 25 minutes later. Tsunade took Shizen behind the hotel and whispered something into her ear. Shizen became wide-eyed as she listened to what Tsunade was saying. Oh Kami, Tsunade-sama, are you serious? Shizen yelled. Tsunade quickly covered her mouth as she turned to look around. Tsunade smiled and nodded. Yeah, it is my idea of a new medical jutsu, Tsunade said to her apprentice. To say Shizen was shocked was an understatement. She was downright dumbfounded. Tsunade-sama, where did you come up with this jutsu? Shizen asked. Tsunade told her about the time they faced Orochimaru, and she remembered that all power from the jewel on her forehead that gave her power. Tsunade was attempting to make a jutsu that helps the body as a whole. Can I count on your help? Tsunade asked. Of course, oh this will be great, Shizen said with a squeal. Thank you Shizen, but don't tell anyone about this, at least not yet, especially Naruto-kun, Tsunade to her. I won't tell a soul, Shizen swore. Tsunade nodded as the two went back to the hotel. Shizen knew everyone, especially Naruto, was going to be shocked at this. Unknown to them, Naruto was in his room and for once was having a conversation with the Kyuubi. So can you at least help with that? He asked. Kyuubi sighed. Boy, to even attempt that is dangerous. How can I agree to that? Kyuubi asked. Please, I need you to do it. I love her, please Kyuubi, Naruto begged. Normally Naruto wouldn't beg the Kyuubi for anything, but this was beyond pride for Naruto. The Kyuubi went over the necessary things in his mind as he sighed. Damn it, fine, I will help, Kyuubi said as he sighed again. Naruto smiled with gratitude. Thank you Kyuubi, Naruto said to him. Kyuubi nodded. Yeah, just to let you know it will hurt a little, he said with a smile. For her that is okay, Naruto said to him. Kyuubi laughed as he went to sleep. Naruto waited for Tsunade as she came in to see Naruto still awake. Did I keep you waiting, Golden Fox-sama? Tsunade asked. Not at all, Haim, Naruto said as he looked at her. Both hinged into their respective age groups and enjoyed a night of sheer bliss. Though Tenten and Hinata were happy that the pair was a lot quieter than the last time. Sure, this is much better, but I still don't want this noise, Kami-sama, Tenten said as she blushed and placed her pillow over her ears. Tenten turned to see Hinata out cold with a red face. Man, that fainting thing is so handy at times like this, Tenten said as she smiled at her unconscious roommate. Everyone, well almost everyone, slept peacefully in the hotel. Back in Konoha. What do you mean you lost them? Danzo roared as he looked at his Anbu in disgust. Everyone was embarrassed that they heard the news that 4 Anbu were beaten by Naruto and Tsunade. Get out of here before I have you all detained, Danzo said to them. Everyone bowed and ran out the door. I will kill you both, just you wait, demon brat, and you too, you damn Sannin, Danzo said as he looked out his window. The day sets for everyone. Konoha is now more dark than ever. People now rarely associate with the village hidden in the darkness. The village is not a peaceful village, but a village of torment. Next morning, the group of shinobi woke up in their rooms and got in the rays of sunshine. As everyone got up, they washed up and got dressed to start the day. A particular blonde couple was up and about having breakfast before anyone else. So it seems that we have to make a detour, Tsunade said to Naruto. Both were enjoying each other's company, but both also had pressing matters to attend to. But Tsunade-chan, to go back to Konoha is a bit more than a detour, Naruto said with a serious face. Tsunade could tell he was worried. Tsunade and Shizen's secret about a new medical jutsu for Tsunade required the medical books back in Konoha. This was the very last place that Naruto would have wanted to go. Naruto thought over the situation in his head. To go back to that place, man, I don't know, Naruto thought as he looked at Tsunade. Tsunade seemed to really need the books for whatever reason. If she couldn't even tell him, it was obvious that this was important. Naruto looked into her eyes. He always seemed at peace with them. Naruto smiled as he decided. Alright, we can go back, I love you so I will go with you anywhere, Naruto said with a smile. Tsunade smiled as she saw she had her boyfriend's support. Tsunade and Naruto finished their food and left the cafeteria. Naruto and Tsunade went back to their rooms to pack a few things. As they took some things, they alerted everyone to the foyer. Alright everyone, Naruto and I will be gone for a few days, so stay here and wait for us, Tsunade said to the confused group. Don't worry, we won't be gone long, I hope, Naruto said to the still confused group. But where are you going? Neji asked them. Both looked at each other and nodded. To Konoha, they said to everyone. Everyone fell to the floor for the sheer stupidity of their idea. And you do remember that Konoha wants you two dead, right? Ino said to them. Yeah, we know, both said without a care in the world. Ino facepalmed herself and she tried to figure out the plot behind this. Why are you going back? Shikamaru asked. To get Tsunade-chan her medical books for a new jutsu, Naruto said to them. Everyone's eyes shot up as they tried to figure out this new jutsu. So that's why you guys are going? Lee asked. Both nodded at his question. Really, if not for the medical books they wouldn't think of setting foot in Konoha. Well, we wish you the best, and you better come back, everyone said to them. Both blondes smiled as they nodded. I won't die so easily, Tsunade said to them. My death is not going to be by Konoha or anyone, Naruto said to them. Both waved goodbye the group of genin and their two associates as they vanished in an instant. Everyone decided to explore more of the town or train until Naruto and Tsunade came back. It was going to be quiet around the town. Naruto and Tsunade. Both were jumping through the trees at amazing speed as they tried to make it to Konoha at the peak of night. As they ran, both had an interesting conversation about the infiltration of Konoha. Wow, never thought I would be infiltrating Konoha of all places, Naruto said with a smile. I know, I can't believe it either, Tsunade said as she moved through the trees with some elegance. Naruto stared at her form as he saw her move through the trees. He always loved the body she had. Tsunade could feel Naruto's stares on her as they ran through the trees. Tsunade smiled as she turned to Naruto. You know, if you keep staring at me I won't be able to hold my blush down, Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled as he jumped up next to her and gave her a quick kiss. Well then don't hold it, he said as he left a stunned Tsunade on a tree. Tsunade stopped and put her finger to her lips. Such a smooth talker, Tsunade said with a smile. As she ran to catch up with Naruto. Both were in their own little world as they raced back to Konoha. Both happened to look at the other and unknowingly blush from their pastime together. 6 hours later. Both were still rushing back to Konoha as they began to feel tired. Neither had stopped because they didn't have to worry about breaks, but it became clear that they needed one. Naruto-kun, shall we rest for a bit? Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled as he nodded. Both found a little spot as they ate a few snacks and rested to regain stamina. Both enjoyed the calm of the forest as Tsunade rested her head on Naruto's lap. Naruto smiled as he looked at Tsunade's lovely face. As he rubbed his hands through her golden hair, he kissed the side of her cheek, making her squirm a bit. Naruto-kun, I love you, Tsunade said in her sleep. Naruto chuckled as he leaned towards Tsunade and gave her another kiss. I love you too, Tsunade-chan, Naruto said to her. 1.5 hours later. Naruto decided to wake up Tsunade as it was time to go. Naruto shook Tsunade, but was unable to get a reaction out of her. Man, my girl sure can sleep, Naruto said as he got a twinkle in his eye. He leaned and gave Tsunade a deep kiss and his tongue swirled around in her mouth. As Naruto deepened the kiss, he saw Tsunade's face look flushed as he smiled. Tsunade woke up to something incredible on her lips. She woke up to see Naruto giving her a kiss. Tsunade smiled as she got up. What a wake-up call, Tsunade said as she straightened her hair. Naruto smiled. Well, I had to get you up, Haim. It's time to go, Naruto said to her. Tsunade looked at the time and saw Naruto was right. Then Golden Fox-sama, let's go, Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled as he got an idea. He told Tsunade to stay where she was as he clasped his hands together. He closed his eyes and focused. The winds in the surrounding area began to pick up as they swayed the entire forest. Futon, Naruto said as the wind picked up. Tenshi Tsubasa no Jutsu, Wings of the Angel's Jutsu, Naruto said as the winds formed around him and became angelic wings that flapped him above the ground. Tsunade, for the most part, was very impressed. Naruto controlled the wind enough to fly. He could always amaze Tsunade over such things. Naruto picked Tsunade up into his arms as he took to the sky. This is better traveling, Naruto said to her. Tsunade was amazed at the view Naruto gave her. Everything looked so small on the ground as he flew through the skies. In less than 2 hours, Naruto managed to get Tsunade to Konoha. It would have taken another 7 hours before they made it to the gates. A few miles off, Naruto released the jutsu and the wings of wind dispelled. Tsunade mastered chakra and so did Naruto. Both walked to the village as they used the trees for cover. As they walked, they took in the new sight of Konoha. The village had constant clouds of darkness as thunder roamed the village. The place was very different. It seemed like all hope had been sucked out of the village. Naruto and Tsunade heard rumors of the new name for Konoha. So this is the village hidden in the darkness, huh? Naruto said with a shocked face. Tsunade couldn't believe the changes either, but neither had the time to gawk at the scenery. They had an objective to do. Naruto and Tsunade had been in the village before, and knew all the secret places to get in. As they went past the security, they stayed hidden in the shadows as they made their way to the medical facilities. They could see that the place was horrible. People were evil to others and crime was an abundant theme in the village. Man, this air feels toxic, Naruto said with a cough. I know, but we don't have the time to wait, Tsunade told him as they went inside Konoha's medical facility. As they entered, both were being discreet as the Y tried to find Tsunade's vault full of her books. As they hid, they noticed that the total count of victims in Konoha had gone up and it seemed to be rising. Tsunade and Naruto wanted to help, but they could see that if they did they would be killed. Both decided to persevere through the pain as they snuck through the facility. 20 minutes later. Both finally found the vault as they smiled at each other. Okay, Naruto-kun, keep watch. I will open this vault, Tsunade said as she tried to work the vault. Naruto nodded as he kept watch of anybody. Tsunade had a difficult time with the lock, mostly because she hadn't been to the vault in a while and nearly forgot the combination. As she finished the code, the vault opened and unveiled all the books Tsunade had. Naruto gasped at the sheer number of them. He knew Tsunade was a medical ninja, but damn. To have this many books on medical justu is almost insane if not obsession. Okay, let me get these books, Tsunade said as she took out a seal and placed it on the ground. Tsunade started to pile all of the books into the scroll as she went from shelf to shelf. After 30 minutes, Tsunade grabbed the last book and put it into the scroll. Okay, that is everything, Naruto-kun, let's go. Hi, Haim. Both ran out the door and closed the vault. As they walked out, they heard someone scream as they saw a Konoha nurse accidentally spot them. Seeing that their cover was blown, Naruto and Tsunade ran for the exit and escape. As they ran out, all of Konoha had been alerted to the presence of intruders. As Naruto and Tsunade entered the trees, they got spotted by all available ninja in Konoha. Damn, we were so close, Naruto said as he sucked his teeth. Tsunade was a little frustrated. All that stealth, only to get caught now, she said as they got surrounded by shinobi. Oh, the demon has returned to Konoha, one of them said. Must be this village's lucky day to end the demon's life, other said. Soon after, Danzo himself made a personal appearance and looked to see Naruto and Tsunade. Well, it seems I don't have to expend resources to find you two now, he said as he laughed. Danzo, how nice it is to see you again, Tsunade said with an arrogant grin. While catching up is fun, you two are dead, he said as he waved his hand. Soon shinobi attacked as Naruto and Tsunade smiled. Naruto-kun, are we trapped? Tsunade said to him. Naruto turned and laughed. Come on, Haim, all I see is an obstacle that is easy to overcome, Naruto said as he brought his hands together. Tsunade did the same. Futon, Sora ha no Jutsu, Wind Style, Sky Blade Jutsu, Naruto yelled as a blade of wind enveloped his arms. With a quick slash, Naruto managed to cut almost all ninja in his path in two. No one saw his technique as it was too fast to see. Tsunade smiled as she formed her hand signs. Doton, Chikyu Kanagona and I, Earth Style, Earth Shatter, Tsunade yelled as she sent her fist into the ground, causing the entire village to rumble. Everyone lost their balance as they looked at the sheer power of the two. They seemed to be a great team. Both could watch each other's back and still manage to evade enemy attacks like it was nothing. No current ninja was a match for them. As the dust settled, Naruto and Tsunade looked to see all the ninja thrown at them on the ground. Anyone else, Danzo? Tsunade asked. Danzo's patience was wearing thin. He had clearly underestimated the two. Suddenly someone appeared from the darkness. This person was in Naruto's age group as the person came into the light. Their hair was pink but had strands of black that ran through the hair. The face and body were very slim. This person also had a very good amount of Ki as they came into view. Why, hello Naruto and Tsunade, the mystery person said. Naruto and Tsunade gasped at who it was. This was a totally different person. SS Sakura both said as they saw the girl of former Team 7 appear before them. Well, this is a surprise, to think I get to kill Naruto today, I love it, Sakura said as she took out a kunai and licked it. Naruto and Tsunade were lost. Sure, Sakura was a dumb fangirl, but to descend this much was almost a dream to the two. Sorry to break it to you, but we aren't dying anytime soon, Naruto said to her. Sakura laughed. Your deaths became clear the moment you stepped your traitorous foot into this village, Sakura said to them. Naruto looked at Tsunade with a serious look. Tsunade, being with Naruto for a while, knew that look. She nodded and turned around faced the other shinobi. Naruto faced Sakura. I will tell you this, Sasuke left on his own. I tried to bring him back, but couldn't deal with it, Naruto told her. He had enough of Sakura being a bitch about everything that dealt with Sasuke. Well, I will be glad to finish his job, Sakura said as she formed a battle stance. Naruto had enough. He took her insults, her physical abuse, and her ranting. He had enough. Naruto assumed his battle stance. Fine, Sakura, try and beat me, it might just be the end of you, Naruto said to her. Sakura growled as she charged at Naruto. Naruto in turn charged at her. Both of their kunai connected as thunder clashed through the sky. For Sasuke in this village, I will kill you, Naruto, she said to him. Just try it, you damn Sasuke-loving bitch, Naruto told her. Village hidden in the darkness. The thunder clashed as the two former members of Team 7 engaged in battle. Sakura was going to kill Naruto for all the years of grief she had. Naruto was going to survive. He was going to stay with Tsunade and his friends. As the two genin charged each other, the lightning flashed throughout the village. I will kill you today, Naruto, Sakura said as charged Naruto. Just try it, Naruto said as he charged Sakura. Both clashed as their kunai made a noise alerting everyone to their presence. Naruto grabbed Sakura's wrist and flung her over his body into a nearby house. Come on, Sakura, give it up, you can't beat me, Naruto said with a serious face. Sakura emerged from the destroyed house completely unscathed. You're right, I said I would kill you and I will do just that, Sakura said as she made some hand signs. Sakura smiled as she performed her signs. I will show you the new art of this village demon, Sakura said as she put her hands on the ground. Yamaten, Mugen Yami no Jutsu, Dark Style, Infinite Darkness Jutsu, Sakura said as darkness suddenly overwhelmed Naruto, causing everything in view to go completely dark. This jutsu, what kind is this? Naruto asked. Laughing, Sakura's voice echoed in the dark. This is our new jutsu, we have evolved into the Breeders of the Dark, Sakura said as she tormented Naruto. Naruto was lost. To be trapped in such a jutsu wasn't good. As he walked around, he felt a pain hit his leg as he fell. Damn it, what was that? Naruto wondered. Sakura smiled. This is the power of my darkness, it will eat away at your body and soul until you are gone, Sakura said as she watched Naruto's shocked face. Naruto smiled as he got an idea. He knew it would be risky, but now wasn't the time to second-guess himself. Naruto managed to stand up and bring his hands together. Sakura smiled at his attempt. Nothing will work in here, this darkness wipes all chakra from my victims, Sakura said as she laughed. Naruto kept on smiling as he heard her torments. Well, I know the weakness to this art of yours, Naruto proclaimed. If Naruto could see Sakura, he would have seen the girl on the floor laughing at him. Always the comedian Naruto, there is no weakness here, Sakura said as smiled as Naruto's desperate attempt. Naruto nodded his head in disappointment. Wow, I can't believe the second smartest genin can't remember something so simple, Naruto said as he kept his hands together. Oh, then prove to me that there is a weakness, Sakura said to him. With pleasure, Naruto said with a smile. Weakness. This darkness is only genjutsu, Naruto said to her. Sakura became wide-eyed as she heard his proclaim. This is not some darkness art, this is a jutsu made by the first and second Hokage, Naruto said to her. Sakura was a little worried now, but she hid it well. Darkness is meant to trick people, Sakura. It obviously tricked you into thinking you could beat me, Naruto said as his body began to heat up. In the darkness glowed a faint light. Kyubi, you ready to help? Naruto asked. Let's get this bitch, go brat, Kyubi said to him. Naruto nodded his head though Kyubi couldn't see it. The fire around his body became brighter as he finished gathering his chakra. Naruto opened his eyes. Katan, Kanetsu Bakuhatsu, fire style, heated explosion, Naruto said as his body became enveloped in fire. He brought his hands out, and an explosion of pure fire bursted in the darkness. Sakura was amazed. Naruto was never able to use Katan Jutsu before. How could he use it now? As the darkness disappeared, Naruto was back outside in the streets as he saw Tsunade fighting more of the ninjas as she kept them occupied. Naruto could see that Tsunade was getting tired. She was a Sannin, but to face so many people by herself wasn't working out. Naruto had to end his fight with Sakura fast. He turned to see Sakura panting hard as she wiped the sweat from her forehead. Sakura wasn't pleased with how things were turning out. Damn it, I had him, I should have finished him off, Sakura said to herself in disgust. It's things like that overconfidence of yours that you still can't beat me, Naruto said as he looked down at his former teammate. Sakura looked up to see Naruto almost in a superior position, like he was looking at her like she was beneath him. Don't look down on me, Sakura said as she jumped up and ran to punch Naruto. Naruto sighed. He had to get him and his girlfriend out of this place. They had stayed too long. I didn't want to use this on anyone, but I have no other option, Naruto said as Sakura neared him. Sakura threw out her punch as it made a slam. Tsunade turned from her fight to see what happened. Tsunade was shocked that Sakura managed to punch Naruto. As Sakura smiled at her feet, she looked to see that she didn't connect with Naruto, but a piece of wind. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Naruto suddenly started to spin his body around as the wind picked up. Futon, Kaiten, wind style, rotation, Naruto said as he blew Sakura away from him as she slammed through 3 buildings. Naruto smiled as he stopped. Adapted from the Hyuga's Kaiten, mine is much more defensive, Naruto said to the shock of everyone around him. Especially the Hyuga family. That kid, he made a more defensive technique than our own, she said as he stared in wonder. Naruto smiled as he looked at the destruction he caused. He saw his girlfriend wanted some answers also. He knew this wasn't the time nor place to talk. Naruto walked over to Tsunade. Well, you guys, it's been fun, but we have to go, Naruto told them. Danzo and his followers laughed as they heard the blonde's ridiculous comment. And how can you escape? You're totally surrounded, Danzo said to him. Naruto smiled as he looked at his girl. Tsunade smiled also as she looked up. Well, we aren't completely surrounded, Tsunade said to them. Everyone had no idea what the two were implying. Naruto smiled as he added chakra to his hands. He picked up Tsunade to the surprise of the villagers. Tsunade snuggled into Naruto's arms as she got comfortable. Naruto smiled. Futon, Tenshi Tsubasa no Jutsu, Naruto said as wings of wind formed on his back. Everyone was too shocked to see that Tsunade was waving goodbye. Naruto smiled as he shot off into the sky. Danzo was the first to snap out of it as he saw his prey fly away. What are you people doing? Get them, Danzo said as he pointed to the sky. Before anyone could react to his orders, Naruto and Tsunade were covered by the clouds and disappeared from view. Damn it, find them now, Danzo yelled as the shinobi scattered. In the sky. Well, shall we go back home? Naruto said to Tsunade. Tsunade smiled as she leaned into Naruto's arms. Yes, Golden Fox-sama, let's go, Tsunade smiled as she laid in his arms him. She failed to see his face get closer to hers and her eyes came wide as she felt his lips on hers. Tsunade smiled as she returned his kiss with her, as she wrapped her arms around his body. Naruto deepened the kiss as his wings flapped in the sky. Naruto broke the kiss as he stared at a blushed Tsunade. Naruto, you should probably hurry. I don't think my urges can wait long, Tsunade purred into his ear. Naruto severely blushed as he nodded. Well, keeping them restricted isn't good, let's hurry, Naruto told her as he pumped more chakra into his wings as they grew bigger. Naruto turned to their destination. He sped away with a bird of wind cushioning the air. Tsunade could feel the wind on her hair as she held onto her lover's body. Naruto smiled as he felt Tsunade tighten her grip on him. Naruto raced through the sky as he became a blur to everyone around him. As some of the shinobi searched for Naruto and Tsunade, they felt a burst of wind hit the trees and they swayed and tried to keep balance. What was that? One of them asked. Everyone shrugged as they continued to search. Back at the town. I am getting worried, I know they said tomorrow, but still, Ino said as she sat in the foyer. Me too, I just can't stay still when they are going to the last place I thought they would, Niji said as he paced the floor. Come on guys, I am sure they are fine, Tenten said as she tried to calm everyone down. Tenten's right, I am sure they are okay, Hinata said to them. Everyone was clearly worried about the blondes. Shizen and Jiraiya were outside pacing the ground as they thought about the things that could go wrong. 1 hour later. Naruto and Tsunade could see the town that their friends were in as they swooped down. Everyone felt the gust of wind as they saw the blondes land on the ground. As they landed, Tsunade grabbed Naruto's hand and raced past their friends. Everyone wanted to ask questions, but Tsunade rushed through everyone as she took Naruto into their room and closed the door. Everyone wondered what happened as they saw the door open. Tsunade put out a sign as everyone came close to read it. Ino, read the note out loud. Do not disturb until tomorrow, Ino said as she read the note. Trespassers will be destroyed upon entry, she finished reading. As everyone read the note, they heard moans come from the room. Everyone blushed and fainted as they finally realized what that note meant. Man, I can't believe those two, Kiba said on the floor. Let's just leave them until tomorrow, I can't stand this, Tenten said as she ran out the door. Everyone else followed her and didn't dare see Tsunade and Naruto until tomorrow. 2 weeks later, Naruto and company were traveling through Kumo as they tried to figure out the best plan for evading Konoha. Over the days, Samambu had given them trouble, but nothing they couldn't handle. As everyone walked, some people were starting to slow down from exhaustion. Where the hell are we even going? Choji asked. Some of the genin nodded as they tried to figure this out. Some could only nod their heads in shame at the way the others had no stamina. By this time, Naruto and Tsunade were in full-blown couple mode. Everyone save Jiraiya was content with the way the couple was acting. At times they held hands, or at other times just leaned on the other's shoulders. Tsunade and Naruto turned around to see everyone tired of walking. "Alright everyone, we will take 30 minutes to rest," Tsunade said to everyone. Everyone sighed as they dropped to the floor, thankful to Kami for some compassion. Tsunade facepalmed herself at the pitiful display. "Come on guys, walking 65 miles is nothing," Naruto said to them. Everyone's sweat dropped and looked at Naruto. "I am not a stamina freak like you," Shikamaru said as he sat down. Everyone else agreed with him as they rested. Tsunade could see the reason though. They had been walking forever and didn't have a real destination in mind. "Man, where can we go to be safe from Konoha?" Tsunade thought as she bit her thumb. Naruto noticed her thinking and smiled. He sat next to her and blew a nice breeze on her neck. Tsunade flinched and blushed at the action. She turned to her newfound love and smiled. "That was mean, Naruto-kun," Tsunade said to him. "Maybe it was Tsunade-chan, but you loved it," Naruto said with a smile. As Naruto and Tsunade talked, both felt a sudden chill come over them. Tsunade instantly got up along with Naruto. "Do you feel that, Tsunade-chan?" Naruto asked. "Yeah, I do. It isn't Konoha, but I can't tell," she answered. They turned to see that everyone could feel the presence too. "What should we do?" Naruto asked her. Tsunade turned to him and smiled. "Why don't we see who it is? If it is a problem, we will fight," Tsunade said as she punched her palm. Naruto could only laugh as he nodded. Both waited for the threat to show up. 10 minutes later, Naruto and company still waited until they saw a bunch of sand bullets fly at them. Naruto and Tsunade dodged and looked at each other. They smiled as they turned back. "Gaara, you shouldn't shoot your friends," Naruto said as the group turned around. Everyone saw Gaara, Kankuro, and Temari appear in front of them. "Man, do you guys have any idea how hard it was to track you?" Kankuro said as he sat down. He took his puppet off his back and set it down. Temari dropped her fan and Gaara dropped his gourd. "Well, we have to keep ourselves hidden from Konoha," Naruto answered. Kankuro smiled and nodded as he laid down. "Yeah, sure kid, whatever," he said as he went to sleep. Temari turned to see Shikamaru cloud gazing. She walked over to him and poked his side. "Hey lazy," she said with a smile. Shikamaru turned his gaze to the blonde Suna woman. "Hey yourself," he said as he slid over for her to sit down. Gaara sat near Shizen and Jiraiya as everyone rested. Everyone enjoyed the tranquility of the mountains as they took in the air. Soon Naruto leaned on Tsunade's body as he fell asleep. Tsunade chuckled. 65 miles is nothing, huh? Yeah, right, Tsunade said as she gave Naruto a kiss on the forehead and fell asleep. Gaara, Kankuro, and Temari saw the little action and sweat dropped. They all turned to their respective group. "What is that all about?" they asked at the same time, but to different people. Shikamaru, Shizen, and Shino turned around to see Naruto and Tsunade sleeping on each other's body. "Oh, that is new immoral couple," Shizen told Gaara. Gaara was wide-eyed as he stared at the couple. "Oh, that is a weird love if I have ever seen one," Shikamaru said as went back to cloud gazing. "That is the unbridled love between people," Shino said as he turned back around. Temari and Kankuro stared at them and then nodded their heads. "Most unpredictable ninja," they said as they slept. Soon what was supposed to be a 30-minute rest turned into a sleep session for everyone. Everyone quietly drifted off as they regained their energy. 2 hours later. Soon some people were starting to get up as they rubbed their eyes to talk in the sunlight. Naruto got up and looked to see Tsunade still sleeping. He looked around to see a majority of everyone still out cold. Naruto smiled as he thought. "But Tsunade-chan is right, where can we go?" Naruto wondered as he thought. He kept pondering and pondering until his memory came to the fourth Hokage. "Why am I thinking about him right now?" Naruto thought as he remembered the lessons about the fourth he heard in class. Flashback. "And so that is why the fourth is regarded as the most powerful Hokage," Irika said to the class. "Any questions?" he asked as he looked around the room. No one raised their hand until he spotted Naruto. Yes, Naruto? Iruka said. Iruka-sensei, why did the fourth have so many enemies? Naruto asked. Iruka smiled as he nodded. Good question, Naruto. To put it simply, he was one of the great seal master in the world, and also the inventor of many forbidden jutsu. A lot of enemy countries wanted his jutsu but died trying. This created some hostility between Konoha and some countries, namely Dash. End flashback. Naruto suddenly stood up and looked wide-eyed. That's it, we can go there, Naruto said in realization. This was the last place Konoha would think to look, or would at least not want to go. Naruto wanted to tell everyone, but didn't want to be on the receiving end of everyone's wrath. Guess I will wait for them to wake up, Naruto said as he slowly got up and laid Tsunade gently on the ground. He kissed her cheek as he got a warm smile as a response. Well, guess I will work on my new jutsu. I can't say I have had much time to practice it, Naruto said to himself as he walked off. 2 hours later. Tsunade groggily got up and rubbed her eyes. As she got up, she leaned next to her blonde lover, but she fell to the ground. Tsunade opened her eyes and saw that Naruto was gone. Tsunade suddenly jumped up and looked around for him. Tsunade got worried as she couldn't find Naruto anyway. As she looked around the mountains, she heard a loud bang in one of the nearby mountains. Tsunade ran to the mountain to see smoke covering her view. As she looked, she saw Naruto appear from the smoke. Tsunade suddenly felt relieved that Naruto wasn't captured by Konoha, but she still wondered what he was doing. Tsunade decided to hide behind the rock and watch. Damn, I guess I need to make the wind thinner, Naruto said as he got back into a stance. Tsunade wondered what he was doing until she saw him mumble some words that she couldn't hear. His arms suddenly began to shake violently. Tsunade could see Naruto swing both arms forward as if he was throwing something. As he settled down, Tsunade couldn't see what he was supposed to be doing. Is this a new jutsu? She wondered as she watched her blonde train. Maybe it is, a mystery voice said behind her. Tsunade turned around to see her blonde's face in front of her. Tsunade jumped as she slid down the mountain. Naruto's clone smiled as it poofed away. Naruto gathered the information and smiled. As Tsunade slid down, she landed into Naruto's arms. Tsunade opened her eyes to see herself in Naruto's arms. Hello, Haim, Naruto said to her with a smile. Tsunade looked up and bonked him on the head. Don't scare me like that, she said with a smile. Sorry, won't happen again, Naruto said to her. Tsunade nodded. It better not happen, Aga dash. She was interrupted by a sudden kiss to her lips. Soon Tsunade relaxed and leaned into the kiss. After a full minute, Naruto separated from her and looked at her. Anything else? He asked. Tsunade looked up and blushed. Man, I was ready to yell and now you go and do that to me. How am I supposed to yell at you now after that? Tsunade said with a smile. Come on, you know I would never intentionally worry you, Naruto told her. Tsunade smiled as Naruto set her down. So what new jutsu were you working on? Tsunade asked, curious of her blonde's training. Oh, you saw that? Well, I haven't mastered it, but I have the basis for it. I can't go into details, but I will say it will be about A rank when I show it, Naruto said with a smile. Tsunade nodded her head. Okay, I hope to be there when you show it, she said as she turned around to leave. Wait, Tsunade-chan, Naruto said suddenly. Tsunade turned around to see Naruto next to her. What is it, Naruto-kun? She asked. I noticed you thinking about where we should go next. I have an idea on where we can go, Naruto said with a smile. Tsunade's full attention was given to Naruto in anticipation of his idea. Oh, and where should we go? She asked with a smile. Naruto smiled as he leaned next to her. I think that we should too. Back with the others. That was a good sleep, Niji said as he got up and stretched. He looked to see the others waking up also. Who knew so little hours of sleep could make you feel so refreshed, Tenten said as she rubbed her eyes and smiled. As everyone got up, they all noticed that Naruto and Tsunade were gone. Hey, where are Naruto and Tsunade? Ino said as she alerted everyone. Everyone nodded their heads that they didn't know. Niji and Hinata used their Byakugan and checked the surrounding areas. Both smiled as they saw Naruto and Tsunade walking back to the area. Oh, they are coming now, Hinata said to everyone. They all calmed down as the two blondes made their appearance. Tsunade-sama, where have you been? Shizen asked, still half asleep. Tsunade smiled as she looked at everyone. Everyone thank Naruto-kun here, we have our next destination, Tsunade said to them. To say everyone was surprised was a little understatement. They were all downright shocked as Tsunade continued. It is probably the last place Konoha was to go to look for us, she said to them. So what is the place? Gaara asked. Tsunade and Naruto turned to Gaara and smiled. We are going to Iwabakure, Naruto said to everyone. Everyone gasped. Are you sure we should go there of all places? Neji asked. Everyone else nodded, worried. They had reason to be worried too. Konoha and IWA have always been at each other's throat since the Third Great Ninja War. To house ex-shinobi of Konoha would seem unlikely. Well, it sounds like a good idea, I guess, but we should be prepared in case they don't allow us to stay, Shikamaru said to them. Everyone else agreed with him. Oh, don't worry, me and Tsunade-chan have already come up with a backup plan in case that does happen, Naruto said as he reassured everyone. They all nodded and agreed. Gaara, what about you, Temari and Kankuro? Tsunade asked. Gaara looked at his siblings who nodded. We will go with you, we can't really go back to Suna, Gaara said with a shrug. Well, Haim, that takes care of that, shall we go there then? Naruto asked. Tsunade smiled. Why yes, Fox-sama, let's go, Tsunade said as they grabbed their stuff. Everyone's eyes shot open at the words of affection. Haim, they said to themselves. Then they thought about Naruto's name. Fox-sama, they all asked as they blushed. Naruto and Tsunade packed their stuff and were ready to go. Well, come on guys, let's go, Tsunade said. Everyone nodded to get their stuff together. Jiraiya summoned a messenger hawk and put a scroll inside. He then set the bird off. Might as well warn them that we are coming, he said as he grabbed his stuff also. Everyone was packed and began their journey to Iwa. 3 days later. Naruto, Tsunade and their group had decided to go to Iwa for safety from Konoha. As they traveled, everyone wondered about the possibility of a life in Iwa. Man, I never imagined that I would be going to Iwa for protection, Tsunade thought to herself as everyone rushed through the trees at an amazing speed. Of all places, I had to think of Iwa, Naruto thought as he stayed close to Tsunade. I remember the Chunin exams, I think I killed an Iwa Nin for his scroll, Neji said as he felt discouraged. I wonder if Iwa shinobi are as youthful as Konoha shinobi, Lee thought to himself. I hope we won't be a burden to Iwa, Hinata thought to herself. This is the perfect time to look at standard Iwa weaponry, Tenten thought. What type of bugs are in Iwa? Shino thought. Everyone was either excited or scared of arriving at Iwa. As everyone continued, they noticed that the place was becoming more humid. A strange mist was enveloping the area. I think we are almost there, Tsunade said to the group. Everyone gulped as they proceeded cautiously. Okay, everyone stay close, we don't want to be separated, Naruto said as everyone nodded. Even though they were in Iwa territory, everyone, with some encouragement from Naruto and Tsunade, were able to relax and assume separate conversations. Seeing the perfect opportunity, Jiraiya decided to start his questioning. He motioned for Tsunade to come to the back. Tsunade grumbled, but complied, leaving a sad and lonely Naruto in the front. As Tsunade pulled to the back, Shizen went back also to engage in the conversation. Seeing the act, some of the genin went up to Naruto to engage in a conversation. As Tsunade came back to Jiraiya along with Shizen, Jiraiya began. Okay, I just have to know, Jiraiya said, about to go into someone else's business. Tsunade knew this was going to come sooner or later, so she prepared herself. You want to know what? She asked. Jiraiya took a deep breath as he began. Well, why Naruto of all people? He blatantly asked. Tsunade turned to Shizen, who nodded in agreement. Tsunade sighed as they began their talk. In truth, I don't know myself. He shattered all my emotional barriers and wormed his way into my heart. He reminds me of both my brother and my lover, but that isn't why I am with him. I love him. He is there for me. I just feel that I can lay all of my burdens on him and know that he will be there for me. He showed me that my love for him is normal. Love is found in all ages. Age is just a number, love isn't. His strong arms have comforted me in many ways that I could never have imagined. His kami-like body has showed me a pleasure not of this world. I now see that I can't live without him. I love him too much, Tsunade said as she finished her reasons. Jiraiya nodded at the reasons while Shizen smiled. Jiraiya could almost faint. He never knew Tsunade could have such feeling for someone again. In truth, he was sad that she fell for Naruto and not him, but was able to let it go. Though he still pestered with a few more questions. You do know that people will judge such a relationship, right? Jiraiya said, trying to make a point. Tsunade smiled as she looked at Jiraiya. Of course I know, but Naruto told me something for nice that made me love him even more, Tsunade said to him. Jiraiya and Tsunade wondered what that could have been. Flashback. A few days ago. Naruto-kun, I have to ask you something, Tsunade said to him. Naruto turned around to face his woman as she looked at him. Naruto, you know people are not going to be accepting of this relationship, Tsunade began. Naruto nodded. He knew about society's standards on love, but that didn't bother him. What about it? Naruto asked. Well, what would we do if people found out? Tsunade asked. Naruto cupped his chin in thought. Well, if no one accepts it, we can always live our lives in solitude away from the public's opinion, Naruto said to her. Tsunade stared at him. And stared. And stared some more. Tsunade suddenly laughed as she grabbed her stomach. Naruto looked confused as to why she was laughing so hard. As Tsunade calmed down, she looked at her blonde. You really know the solution to our problems, huh? She said with a smile. Naruto smiled also. I have my moments, Naruto said to her. Tsunade laughed again. End flashback. He said that to you? Shizen asked in shock. Tsunade nodded with a smile. Yes, he did, Tsunade answered. That kid must really love you a lot, Jiraiya said to her. Well, I don't pick just anyone to whom I give my love to, Tsunade said to him. And besides, I have a little surprise for Naruto-kun, Tsunade said with a smirk. Shizen smiled as she remembered Tsunade's surprise for Naruto. She and Tsunade had spent nearly every week at night practicing this new jutsu in secret. No one knew what this surprise could be. So how big is this surprise? Jiraiya asked. Tsunade turned to him. Oh, it is a big surprise, Tsunade said to him. Jiraiya had a confused look. Shizen turned to Tsunade. So when do we use it? She asked. When it is completed, which might be in a few weeks, Tsunade said to them. With Naruto and the others. Okay, Naruto, we gotta talk now, Kiba said to a startled Naruto. He noticed everyone else around him nod. Naruto sighed as he nodded his head. Okay, what is it you want to talk about? He asked. Ino began the interrogation. We need to talk about why you are in love with someone 40-some years older than you, Ino blatantly said. Naruto sighed as he began. Look guys, I love her, so what, why are you people so against it? He asked. Kiba gasped. Because it is sick, man, she is old enough to be your grandmother, he said. Naruto shot him a glare of death at the way he addressed his blonde. Look Kiba, I don't care what you or society thinks, I love her and that is all. I don't care if you don't want to see us together, we are so either you people deal with it or I will deal with you, Naruto said. Kiba backed up and hid behind Shikamaru. As sorry man, meant no disrespect, Kiba said behind a tired Shikamaru. Naruto nodded. It's alright Kiba, but don't speak ill of the woman I love, Naruto said to them. Age is just a number to me, love has many infinite possibilities, I believe one's love isn't determined by their age, Naruto said to them. Everyone gasped at the wisdom Naruto appeared to be showing. But why Tsunade of all people? Tenten asked. Naruto turned to her. I have no idea. She seemed to cloud my every thought. Ever since I learned of her past, I felt that I could be there for her. I could ease her pain and see that she could love again. In truth, I didn't plan to fall in love with her, but before I knew it, I suddenly loved her with all my heart. It's weird that I planned for her to love again, but I came to love her before she loved me. Regardless of that, I love her. Her smile, her power, her heart, her soul, her personality, I love it all, Naruto said to them. The guys smiled and the girls were nearly on the verge of tears. That was so beautiful, Ino said to him. Hinata and Tenten nodded. Man, I can't say anything after that, I fully support you guys, Kiba said to them. Niji nodded as did everyone else. Thank you everyone, Naruto said. Niji suddenly said something. Just promise me something, he said to the blonde. Sure, what is it? Naruto asked. Niji grabbed Naruto's collar and looked him dead in the eyes. Please, I beg of you, keep the noise at night to a minimum, that is all I ask, Niji said as he comically cried. Naruto looked at Niji and smiled. I will try, Niji, but I can't promise that, Naruto told him. Just try in any case, please, I like to sleep, Niji said to him. Alright, I promise, but I am not sure how long that will hold, Naruto said to him. What about your Nindo, you never go back on your word, right? Tenten said with a smirk. Naruto looked at her. Yeah, I suppose, alright Niji, we will keep it down, Naruto said to him. Niji breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, I am happy now, Niji said to him. Gaara turned to Naruto. But what about the age difference? He asked. Naruto turned to him and smiled. Oh, that, well, I have a big surprise for you guys, Naruto told them. Everyone looked at each other in confusion. In his mind, Naruto heard a smirk from a certain fox demon. I would still like to thank you for this, Kyuubi, Naruto said to his Bija. Kyuubi nodded, though Naruto couldn't see it. Yeah, Gaki, it is okay, but stop calling me Kyuubi now. I don't hate you, so you are privileged to use my official name, Kyuubi said to him. Naruto became wide-eyed. Oh, and what name is that? He asked. Kyuubi smirked. My name is Hina, Kyuubi said to him. Naruto looked in confusion. But that is a girl's name, Naruto said to it. Kyuubi smiled. Yeah, about that, well. You're female, Naruto shouted in his mind. Hina smiled. Yes, I am. I am Hina, the Kyuubi no Yoko, Hina said to him. Naruto smiled. Well then, Hina-chan, I thank you for your help, Naruto said to her. Hina smiled. Even demons have compassion for love, Naruto-kun, Hina said to him. Naruto smiled. He decided something great. Naruto focused for a bit while he walked. He entered his mindscape. Mindscape of Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto came to see the sewer-like mind he had as he came to Hina's cage. Hina smiled. And to what do I owe the honor of my new friend in this place? Hina asked. Naruto smiled as he looked at her. Well, I just thought to change this place for you. It must be frustrating to be in here, Naruto told her. Oh, it really is, Hina said to him. Naruto smiled as he turned around. Well, let me do something about that, Naruto said as he turned around. He focused for a while. He imagined a lush field of flowers, a waterfall and river, plenty of little foxes to keep her company. Naruto closed his eyes. Hina gasped. She saw the cage disappear and saw that the seal form a collar around her neck. She saw all the beauty of the place Naruto prepared for her. Naruto opened his eyes and smiled. Not bad if I do say so myself, he said as he turned around. He soon saw the fox demon replaced with a beautiful woman. She had crimson hair that flowed down to her waist. She had very tight curves and at least a D-cup in size. Her eyes were red slits, but still expressed happiness. As Naruto examined her, he got knocked out of his daze by a tackle. Thank you so much, Naruto-kun, I love it, Hina said to him. Naruto smiled. Not finished yet, Hina-chan, he said as he got up. Naruto imagined one last thing. After a while it came into view. A house that seemed to be of a fancy family home. It had 16 slide doors and 8 separate rooms, including a master bedroom and a few other places. Hina fell to the ground. Wow, Hina said as she stared at the house. I hope you like it, Naruto said to her. Hina tackled Naruto again. I love it, Naruto-kun, thank you from the bottom of my heart, Hina said as she ran to explore the house. Naruto got up. Well, I have to go, enjoy the place, Hina-chan, Naruto said to her. Hina smiled as nodded. Hina-chan, please come here, Naruto said to her. Hina came over to him as he looked at her. One last gesture, he said as he touched her collar. He tore a piece of the collar seal off. There, now you can communicate with me easier, and you can sense the outside world through me, Naruto told her. Hina squealed. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Hina said as she ran to explore the house. Naruto smiled as he left. Back in the real world. Naruto opened his eyes and adjusted them to the light. Everyone was back to their original conversations as they walked to IWA. 3 hours later. Soon everyone came to see a village as the mist began to clear. Tsunade smiled and so did everyone else. Finally made it, Kiba said to himself. 3 hours of pure walking, thank Kami it is over, Tenten said as she was dead tired. As the group came up to the gates, they were stopped by IWA shinobi. Halt, state you business here, one of them demanded. Naruto leaned next to Tsunade. Touchy aren't they? He asked. Tsunade smirked. No kidding, she said to him as Jiraiya stepped forward. I am the Toad Sage, Jiraiya. I sent a message to IWA a few weeks ago, he said to the guard. The guard looked at the group and nodded. Yes, we have been expecting you, he said as the gates opened. As the group of shinobi passed the gate, they looked around. The place was surrounded by narrow rock formations and seemed to provide more than enough defense. It was a natural stronghold. So the people here specialize in earth jutsu, huh? Shikamaru asked. Tsunade nodded. Yes, and along with that comes the stubbornness of some of the ninja. They follow any order given, even to the point of death, Tsunade said to everyone. The guard escorted the group to the Tsuchikage as they came in to see the short man doing paperwork. Well, if it isn't the former Hokage of Konoha, Inoki said as he smiled. Tsunade resisted the urge to punch him. Hey Inoki, I see you are doing well, Tsunade said to him. Yes, I am, so what is it you want? He asked, trying to get to the point. Tsunade breathed and began. We would like to join the ranks of Awagakure Inoki, Tsunade said to him. Inoki smiled. You are ex-shinobi of Konoha, why should I give you help here? He asked. Tsunade faltered a bit. He was right. He didn't have a reason to keep them or protect them. Well, we are all strong and being added to your forces would benefit you a lot, Tsunade said to him. Inoki had to admit that it was a good point. To have to Sannin members and all the clan heads of Konoha on his side would be very beneficial. The clan heads here would love to join your ranks if they can, Tsunade said to him. The group bowed as they nodded that they would be more than happy to be under his command, which was a downright lie. Inoki thought it over. I don't know, I might need a bit more convincing, he said to her. Tsunade didn't want to bring this out. It was a last resort, but the safety of the group was to come. She knew that this might destroy her relationship with Naruto. Well, how about Yandame's son, here Naruto Uzumaki, Tsunade said reluctantly. Inoki, Naruto, the genin and Shizen all gasped. Jiraiya facepalmed himself. No, not that damn, he thought. Inoki stood up. Yandame's son, Minato Namake's son, Naruto Uzumaki, I like it, you have yourself a deal on one condition, he said to her. By this time Naruto was in complete shock. He was the fourth son. The village hero was his father. Yandame is my father, I am his son, Naruto said as tears left his eyes. Tsunade didn't notice the tears and went on with the conversation. What is the condition, Inoki? Tsunade asked, afraid of the condition. Inoki confirmed her fear. Naruto Uzumaki is to marry one of my shinobi so the fourth's blood can be transferred to Awagakure. If he doesn't already have a fiancée, then he will marry her, Inoki said as he brought a girl forward. The girl was light-skinned. She had a nice body. Her hair was green and short. She wore standard IWA shinobi gear, but wore some fishnet clothes that revealed some cleavage. Naruto turned to her and gasped. He didn't want to marry anyone but Tsunade. He thought she loved him, but it was obvious that if she had kept such a secret then she didn't love him after all. The girl turned to Naruto and smiled. Hello Naruto Uzumaki-san, I hope we have a happy life together, she said to him, leaving Naruto and the group stunned. Tsunade gasped as she looked at the woman. She now realized she had made a big mistake. Outside Tsuchikage's mansion. Everyone had just finished discussing the terms of agreement with Inoki. Inoki agreed to protect everyone and was getting to the forms and signing them all in as IWA shinobi. Everyone was happy to be protected, but no one had on the expression of joy. Everyone except Tsunade and Jiraiya had faces of pure shock. The container of the Kyuubi, the number on hyperactive knucklehead ninja, was the son of Konoha's most powerful shinobi. Naruto Uzumaki was the son of Yandame Hokage, Minato Namake's. Everyone couldn't believe it. The village had treated Naruto so badly, and some of them knew he was the fourth son. Obviously Naruto was taken back the most by the new information. All his life he wanted to know who his parents were, but no one ever told him. Now he knew. Everyone walked in silence as they headed to their place of lodging. No one felt like talking to anyone, much less Naruto and Tsunade. As they walked, Jiraiya brought Tsunade to the back of the group along with Shizen. Tsunade, what the hell went through your mind when you said that? Jiraiya whispered, but still didn't lessen the venom in his voice. Tsunade looked at him. I don't know, I wanted to keep everyone safe and Inoki needed one more push so I just said that, Tsunade told him. Jiraiya shook his head. You know, when you claimed to be his girlfriend I thought you would truly love him, but I see that you don't, Jiraiya said with an accusation. Tsunade turned to him. What are you talking about? I do love him, with all my heart I do, Tsunade protested. I find that hard to swallow, Tsunade-sama, Shizen said as she held Tuntun. Why is that, Shizen? Tsunade asked, confused. Tsunade-sama, you use Naruto-kun like a bargaining chip. No woman who truly loves their man bargains them like a piece of property, Shizen told her. But I thought it was for the best interest of the group, Tsunade told them. Jiraiya and Shizen did nod their heads. Tsunade did get the protection that everyone wanted, but the way she went about it was definitely wrong. I know that, Tsunade, but now you will have to explain all of this to Naruto. Now he deserves to know, plus I think you hurt him when you didn't ask him, he minded being bargained, Jiraiya told her. B but I dash. Listen, Tsunade. I don't know how much Naruto trusts you, but after that stunt he definitely trusts you less, Jiraiya said as he walked ahead. Tsunade held her head down. She knew Jiraiya was right. She had just bargained the man who loved her, the man who she loved, the man she claimed to love with all of her heart. Tsunade remembered her speech to Jiraiya and Shizen about her love for Naruto. Tsunade cried as she realized she had just refuted that entire speech in one action. I am sorry, Naruto, I have made a mistake, Tsunade said to herself. The group continued to walk until they came up to their place. It was very big. I was more than able to meet everyone's needs. Everyone could have their own rooms or have their rooms combined for couples. Everyone entered the house and looked around. This was a very big house. It took everyone at least 2 hours to memorize everything in the room. After the memorization, everyone came to the main hall of the house. Everyone sat down for their discussion. Alright everyone, we now have Iwa's protection, but we will now be in service of IWA, Tsunade said. Everyone nodded as they listened, though some of the group were looking at Naruto, who had on a blank face. Tsunade turned to Naruto with a bit of worry. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Tsunade asked. Naruto turned to her and smiled. Yes, I am fine, Tsunade, Naruto said to her. Everyone became wide-eyed at the response. The regular chan suffix that Naruto used was gone. Tsunade felt her heart crumble when she heard those words. She turned to Jiraiya, who nodded his head. Tsunade took a deep breath and began. Naruto-kun, I want you to know that I didn't mean to use you the way I did in the office, Tsunade said. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Oh, that is quite alright, Tsunade. I could see why you did. It was all for our group. You don't need to apologize, Naruto told her. Tsunade still clutched her heart. She missed being called Tsunade-chan by her blonde. Naruto seemed emotionless, and they continued to talk. I would have just thought that my girlfriend would have told me about my past, but I guess not, Naruto said as he got up and left. Everyone looked at Tsunade, who had a pained expression. What have I done? She asked herself. Jiraiya put his hands on Tsunade's shoulder. Listen, Tsunade, it isn't going to be easy to repair his trust in you. You will have to work at it, Jiraiya told her. Tsunade nodded. She motioned for everyone to go. Everyone nodded as they left in silence, leaving Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Shizen in the room. With Naruto. Naruto walked out of the house and walked through the village. He looked around at the different citizens who roamed the IWA territory. He even saw some really great ninja shops. Naruto decided to get some solitude as he climbed the mountains and sat in an open space. Naruto let a few tears fall down his face. How could you, Tsunade? You were my girlfriend, yet you traded me like a piece of property, Naruto said to himself in the silence. And on top of that, you knew my family and you didn't bother to tell me, Naruto said to himself again. Maybe she had a good reason, Naruto-kun, Kyubi said, interrupting his thoughts. Naruto chuckled a little as he heard Hina stretch in the meadow of flowers. But what reason do you think she could have, Hina-chan? Naruto asked. Hina thought, then came up with an answer. Well, I knew the fourth, he was a good man, he could always lighten to mood to any situation, but he could also be scary in a fight, Hina said as she smiled. Naruto had a confused look. What does that have to do with Tsunade not telling me? Naruto asked. Hina chuckled, but explained. Well, Naruto-kun, Minato did have a lot of enemies because of his skills, such as IWA. He was feared and received the title of flea on sight. He could bring any ninja to their knees, just by entering the battlefield. Now, Naruto-kun, imagine if IWA had known that you were the fourth son at a young age, Hina said, trying to get Naruto to think, which seemed to be working. IWA would have tried to kill me, because they would fear that I would become like my father, Naruto said, finally connecting the dots. Hina nodded and smiled. Exactly, maybe she didn't tell you because you were still too young and wanted to wait until you were at least able to handle yourself in front of your enemies, Hina said to him. Naruto smiled. And do I need to ask if IWA targeted you while you were, no correction, are dating Tsunade? Hina told him. Naruto realized it. You're right, I didn't see it, she was just trying to protect me. If she lost me, then she might never fall in love ever again. I can't believe I was such a fool, Naruto said, berating himself. Hina chuckled. While I do believe that she should have told you, but at least she had her reasons for not telling you, Hina said to Naruto. Naruto smiled as he nodded. He felt much better and got up to find Tsunade. Thank you, Hina-chan, Naruto said as he ran off. Hina smiled. Are you kidding? With how soft this bed is, I will do anything for you, she told him. Naruto chuckled as he ran back to the house. Everyone was still inside the house enjoying the quiet until Naruto came in. Where is Tsunade-chan? Naruto asked. Everyone looked at each other and pointed to the main hall. Naruto thanked them and ran off. He opened the door to a surprised Tsunade, Shizen, and Jiraiya. Tsunade-chan, Naruto smiled as tears fell from his eyes. He ran and pounced on her. Both rolled across the mat as Naruto laid on top of Tsunade. Tsunade rubbed her head as she looked up at the blonde. Tears fell from her eyes as Naruto hugged her. She returned his hug as Jiraiya and Shizen smiled. As Naruto broke the hug, Tsunade looked up at him. Naruto-kun, I am so dash. She was interrupted by a sudden kiss to her soft lips. Tsunade cried a little as she submitted to the lips that she missed. Naruto kissed her like he had not seen her in years, though he was only gone for a few hours. Naruto broke Tsunade's lips as his tongue found hers and the two danced in their mouths. As Naruto let up on the kiss, he looked at a flushed Tsunade. Don't say anything, Haim. I now know you did this for my benefit. I love you and my family history won't change that. Just be more trusting of you, Fox-sama, Naruto told her with a smile. Tsunade nodded. Alright, I am very sorry, my Fox-sama. I didn't want to hurt you, Tsunade told him. Naruto smiled. It's all fine, Haim. Just be more trusting of me as I am with you, he said as he let her up. As they turned to leave, they heard a tray fall to the ground. Everyone turned to see the girl that was to be engaged to Naruto in the doorway. Naruto turned to her and smiled. Sorry, but I can't marry you. This is the woman I love, Naruto said as he wrapped his hands around the blushing Tsunade. The girl stepped forward and hugged Naruto. Oh, thank you, she said to a confused Naruto. Wait, I don't get it? Naruto told her. She let him go. Oh, sorry, I am Yuri Tachibana. I am sorry, it's just that I can't love you, Naruto. I love someone else. I was coming to try to get you to go against the engagement, but now you already did. Thank you, Yuri said to Naruto. Naruto nodded. Yeah, I love Tsunade-chan and no one else, but you might want to let me go, Naruto told her. Yuri seemed confused. Why? She asked. Because someone doesn't like others touching her, man. Naruto pointed to a smiling Tsunade who was cracking her knuckles. Yuri immediately let go and bowed. Please don't hit me, I am sorry, Yuri told Tsunade. Tsunade smiled as she stopped. Oh, that's alright, but no more signs of affection with my Naruto-kun, Tsunade told her. Never, I don't love him. Well, I will go and spend my time with my beloved, bye, Yuri said as she ran out the door. As everyone stayed in the room, Tsunade's face glowed as she turned to Naruto. Naruto-kun, let's go see Inoki, Tsunade said to him. Naruto looked confused. Why? He asked. I want you to trust me this time, Tsunade said as she dragged Naruto with her. Soon the entire group followed and left the house. Sachikage Mansion. Inoki was still signing papers for his new shinobi when he heard a knock. Come in, he said. Tsunade opened the door with her hand on Naruto, and they appeared in his office. Tsunade, is there something else you wanted? Inoki asked. Tsunade smiled. Yes, there is, I am sorry, but Naruto cannot get married to your shinobi, Tsunade told him. Inoki raised an eyebrow. Oh, and why is that? As I recall, I said if he is engaged he doesn't have to marry one of my shinobi, Inoki said with a smile. What he failed to see was Tsunade smiling. Oh, Inoki, didn't I tell you he is engaged? Tsunade said to him. Inoki became wide-eyed. Oh, and to who? He asked. Tsunade turned to Naruto, who couldn't believe what she was about to say. She smiled as she turned back to Inoki. To me, I am Naruto's fiancé, Tsunade said to him. Inoki laughed. Yeah, right, Tsunade, like you would marry this boy, he said as his laughter filled the room. Tsunade smiled. Oh, wouldn't I, she said to him. Inoki stopped laughing and was in shock as Tsunade turned to Naruto. Naruto-kun, would you accept me as your wife? Tsunade asked him. Naruto looked surprised, but quickly recovered and smiled. Only if you will accept me as your husband, Tsunade-chan, Naruto told her. Tsunade smiled. With all my heart do I accept, Naruto-kun, Tsunade said as she knelt down and kissed Naruto. Naruto smiled as he deepened the kiss between them. Both seemed to be in their own world as they forgot that they were in the presence of the Tsuchikage. As they parted, they looked at Inoki. He was pale and his soul was hanging out of his mouth. Tsunade and Naruto smiled. Well, my fiancé, shall we go? Tsunade asked. Naruto chuckled as he took her hand. Yes, let's go, my fiancé, Naruto said as the two blondes walked out the room, leaving a pale Inoki in his seat. As they passed the door, they also smiled as they saw half of the group fainted and the other half blushed. Both ran off to have time to themselves. Same day. Naruto and Tsunade left the Tsuchikage's mansion in a very good mood. Both were laughing as they remembered the look of shock on Inoki's face. As they walked through the village, they went back to the house that had been prepared for them. Man, Tsunade-chan, I can't believe his reaction to that, Naruto said as he smiled. Tsunade could barely control her laughing as she nodded. I know, it was priceless, she said as she held his hand. To think that lie actually worked, Naruto said to her. Tsunade stopped laughing and looked at Naruto. His face suddenly turned sad at the thought that Naruto didn't take her words seriously. Naruto turned around to see Tsunade's sad face and ran up to her. Tsunade-chan, what is the matter? Naruto asked. Tsunade looked at him and hugged him, surprising the blonde. Naruto-kun, I hope you know that I wasn't lying when I said that, Tsunade told him as Naruto's eyes widened. Are you serious? Naruto asked her with a glimmer of hope. Tsunade looked at him and chuckled. Of course, Naruto-kun, I love you, why shouldn't I spend the rest of my life with the person I love? Tsunade said with a rhetorical question. Naruto looked down at the ground and smiled. Though the smile wasn't seen by Tsunade, who entered her own thoughts. Oh no, what am I going to do? I just told him that. Is he going to hate me? She thought as she looked at Naruto. As Tsunade was about to speak, she squealed as she realized she was lifted up by Naruto and came into his arms. Tsunade blushed as she looked at his face. Naruto didn't speak, instead he ran to the house much to Tsunade's astonishment. Shinobi House. As Naruto got home, he took off his and Tsunade's shoes. He then looked at her and smiled brightly. Tsunade looked confused as Naruto had carried her all the way from the village to their house. Naruto immediately took off for his room. As he entered his room, he gently placed Tsunade on her feet in his room. Naruto-kun dash. Tsunade was interrupted when Naruto ran out of the room. A few seconds later, Naruto came back and had a sign. He placed it on his door and closed it. After Naruto calmed down, he took a deep breath. After the breath, Naruto looked up and smiled. Tsunade-chan, Naruto yelled as he pounced on her. As they both fell to the floor, Naruto's lips met hers and brought his arms around her. Tsunade was surprised by the action, but nonetheless submitted to the kiss. After Naruto broke the kiss, Tsunade had on a confused expression as she looked at her blonde. What was that for, Naruto-kun? Tsunade asked. Naruto smiled as he wrapped his arms around Tsunade. I am happy, you weren't playing, you would really want to marry me, Naruto said with a smile. Tsunade looked at him and smiled. Of course I would, I love my fox-sama, Tsunade said to him. Naruto smiled as he leaned his face dangerously close to hers. Then let me show you some love, Naruto said as with a smile. Tsunade's face suddenly grew dark red as she heard his statement. Tsunade didn't have the time to respond as Naruto brought his lips to hers and enjoyed their sweet taste. Tsunade felt Naruto's strong muscles wrap around her as she knelt to his lap. Naruto decided to have some fun as his tongue intruded into Tsunade's mouth. Tsunade's eyes grew wide as she realized Naruto's action. Soon she registered the motion and closed her eyes again. Naruto's tongue nurtured hers and the two swirled around in the mouths of the lovers. Tsunade's face was getting redder as she felt his passion wash over her. Tsunade had come to help weakness every time she was in his arms. Her eyes would go weak from the feeling. Soon Naruto broke the passionate moment between the two as they looked in each other's eyes. Tsunade-chan, will you let me show you my love? Naruto whispered in her ears. Tsunade's face grew even more red as she struggled to find her voice. Love me, Naruto-kun, I want you to love me, Tsunade said to him. Naruto complied as he began. Oh Kami, I love him, thank you so much for this, Tsunade said in her thoughts. Naruto turned to her and smiled. Tsunade smiled back. She couldn't hold it anymore. A few weeks felt too long. She was going to show her surprise to Naruto today. Naruto-kun, I have a surprise for you later today, I know you will enjoy it, Tsunade said to him. Naruto looked at her in confusion and smiled. And I have a surprise for you later, Tsunade-chan, you will be surprised, Naruto said to her. Tsunade looked at him in confusion. Then she smiled and nodded. I look forward to it, Tsunade said as the two of them fell asleep on the floor. Naruto soon followed as the two slept quietly in Naruto's room. Back in Konoha. Danzo was feeling more and more frustrated with Naruto and Tsunade. He spent nearly every resource available to find them, but they disappeared from the eye of every Konoha shinobi. Whenever Danzo sent out shinobi to capture the demon and his protector, they would either be defeated or would say they couldn't find them. Danzo felt the patience of Konoha's citizens slipping every day. He had always heard the rants of people for Naruto's death, or for his head on a platter. The way the two avoided him was staggering. As Danzo sat in his chair, someone came through the door. Danzo-sama, how has the search for that lame piece of trash and Tsunade? A pink-haired girl asked her Hokage. Danzo sighed. I don't know what to tell you, Sakura, they have disappeared, but rest assured, we will find them and we will kill them both, Danzo said with a chuckle. Sakura smirked also. She was finally happy to her that they would kill them. The way she figured it, the reason Sasuke left was because of Naruto. If Naruto died, then her precious Sasuke-kun would come back to her. Sakura cracked her knuckles. Oh, I am looking forward to their deaths, then Sasuke-kun will come back, Sakura said with a slight blush. Danzo's sweat dropped. Even if they did kill Naruto and Tsunade, he wasn't going to allow that brat of an Uchiha back into the village. Danzo simply nodded as Sakura left in a good mood. Danzo suddenly smirked as she left. Dream on, fangirl, that Uchiha is never getting back into these walls, Danzo said in his thoughts as he sat in his chair thinking of where the demon Spawn and Sannin could have gone. As Sakura left the mansion, she walked down the streets of the darkened Konoha. Life went by as usual, except people were a lot more cruel to each other. Crime seemed to be the main thing appearing the most in Konoha. Because a majority of shinobi resigned as shinobi, the crimes increased. Of course, that didn't stop some civilians from protecting the weaker ones. Hey you trash, why are you trying to assault that woman? Kakashi asked with a glare. The man laughed as he held the woman. Get your own bitch, man, this flower is mine, he said as he licked the side of her cheeks. Kakashi closed in on the man and took out a kunai. I guess you don't want that tongue then, Kakashi said as he sped so fast that the man didn't see what happened. The man suddenly screamed as he saw blood drop from his mouth. Damn you, he yelled as he screamed. Kakashi stabbed him with the kunai as he fell down dead. He went to the woman and held out his hand. Are you okay, miss? He asked. The woman nodded and took his hand. Thank you very much, she said as she ran off. Kakashi sighed. This shouldn't be an everyday thing, Kakashi said to himself. He, Asuma, Guy, Kurenai, Anko, Hana, and Yugugo all agreed to try and keep the crime rates down as an act of self-interest. They seemed to be doing a good job, but the crimes just kept coming. Sai, ever since you two left, this place has become so dark and gloomy, it is nerve-wracking, Kakashi said as he shoo-shined out of the area. Back in IWA, 4 hours later. Naruto and Tsunade groggily got up as they saw it was nighttime. They got dressed and headed out of the room. As they made their way to the meeting hall, they came to see everyone sitting in a circle in the room. What are you guys doing? Naruto asked. Everyone looked at Naruto and smiled. Oh, nothing, it's just that as we walked back to the house we all heard you, Kiba said to them. Both blushed. They didn't know they were being so loud. Jiraiya got up and put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Good job, my pupil, good job, I am so proud, Jiraiya said as he comically cried. Tsunade grew a vein as she punched Jiraiya to the floor. Everyone sighed and turned back to the circle. Tsunade smiled. Well, Naruto-kun, I will give you my surprise now, Tsunade said with a smile. Everyone's ears perked up at the new information. Naruto smiled as he waited. Everyone shifted their gazes to Tsunade, who walked over to a side of the room. Shizen became wide-eyed.